You're about to listen to TADPOG. Tyler and Dave play old games. It's a comedy video game podcast. We would like to stress that the hosts are not experts and are really just very crass commentators. Seriously, this is an explicit podcast that happens to talk about video games sometimes. So please enjoy this pretty okay podcast with Tyler and Dave.
Hello, Internet. Hello. And welcome to another TADPOG podcast. It's Tyler and Dave, and play old games. We're back on our bullshit with, Super Nintendo.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, we're back doing the thing the show's about that we kind of hate doing sometimes.
I don't know. It's been good recently.
I said sometimes.
Yeah.
Adding the movies has helped.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I'm not trying to change your opinion. I'm just saying, for me right now, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just sometimes I'm
with you, Dave.
terribly fond of it. Of the subject
yeah,
matter. I love
sure,
coming here
absolutely.
and talking to you guys. And sometimes just riffing on bullshit games helps.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general,
it's
helps.
a structure.
Yeah.
A loose structure.
Yes.
So today we'll be talking about the movie and the games, Toys. starring Robin Williams.
Yeah.
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 Before we get to all that, what you guys been up to?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Ian, you went straight like Tommy Boy, like
Just trying to make sure. Oh, my hair. Sorry. It's been
it's
another
cool. It's anime hair now.
Yeah, it
Ian
is.
San.
Ian San. That's a character in that game you were. What was that? Genshin Impact.
Oh, yeah.
There's a character
Ian-san?
named Ian San.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Is that your main?
Yes.
Have you been playing it? Have you played?
No, I actually just happened to see it
Was it
out
an
there
ad?
in the wild. I think it was a wild in an ad in the wild. Yes, and yeah, it came up Ian San.
That's some fucking targeted advertising right there.
Yes, it is. They're watching like Lowe's.
Lowe's knows.
Got a lot of good feedback on the commercial that I used for the transition last
was
week.
great.
People were fun.
I'm a fan
having
as well.
fun with that. So this week, it's been a week. I'll go through what I've been watching. I finished Fargo yesterday. All 4 seasons in the can. Big recommend on that series. As I've said before, 4 stars. Says check it out. I was going to go over to Disney Plus and start watching Echo. There's a new show called Echo, and I think it's like Daredevil adjacent because Kingpin is in it, and they've got the guy that played him in the Netflix Daredevil. Vincent D'Onofrio is playing Kingpin again, and he's in it, so I think that's what it is, but I don't know. We're getting to the part in Marvel's universe where I kind of checked out when I was a kid in the comics and cartoons and things, and so I don't know a lot about that. But it's like the first thing to come on Disney Plus that's TVMA for mature audiences only, and they actually tell you if you want to watch it, you have to turn off your setting that prevents MA stuff from happening. So
Disney titties.
yeah, you can get them Disney tits,
Disney.
a Disney dick,
Dick's neat.
dick. My dick. Well, that bodes well, though. I haven't watched it. I'm going to. But that bodes well for Deadpool. Hopefully, that paves the way sort of for a par for the course Deadpool that's not been toned down too much. So
Not your granddaddy's Disney.
Not your granddaddy's Disney. Or it could be your granddaddy's Disney
Probably
eventually,
is.
depending on when you're listening to this. And then, so instead, though, Hulu has another show. It's only got 1 season. I don't know how recent it is. It's called The Old Man. It's got Jeff Bridges, John Lithgow. I've only gotten like halfway through the first episode. But so far, I've already started to really enjoy it. It's about a dude who is apparently caught up into some heavy-duty shit in his past. Because in the first half of the first episode, at one point he's laying in bed and someone comes into his house, tries to assassinate him, and he kills them and then goes on the run.
Gotcha.
So I don't know anything about it yet, but so far I've really enjoyed it. Watched a couple of really good movies this week. I'm going to find the notes for that now. Oh, the first movie I watched is called Brawl in Cell Block 99. And it is about a drug mule who goes to prison after a pickup goes bad, and he's forced to make a very difficult decision. And chaos ensues. ... That's my boilerplate. I don't want to tell you anything more. Vince Vaughn is in this one. Jennifer Carpenter, who played Deb in Dexter.
Oh, okay.
The sister, and Don Johnson. You might
Don
remember
Johnson?
Don Johnson from Miami Vice or Knives Out. So yeah, he's in it.
I forgot about him and Knives
He's
Out.
come out. He's come into a lot of things that I've seen in the last couple of years. Really glad to see him, and he's really still. I think he's aged well.
Don Johnson.
It's the Don Johnson. It really is. We're right in the middle of it.
TM.
You gotta love it. I'll register the domain. It's fine.
Don Johnson, pisstasters.com or donjonassance.com to go to Patreon.
I gotta
and
stop
money.
registering domains. It's fucking killing me.
Just let them expire, though. Just let me know when they expire,
Uh-huh.
and we'll just stop saying them.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't renew any of these
I'll put
unless they're
I'll
like
put up a whiteboard and we'll erase them
yeah,
whenever they're gone.
Yeah, we can say these are the domains we once had. 4 stars on Brawl and Cell Block 99. It was surprisingly good. And I found out
Cell Block 99.
Brawl
Brawl.
in Cell Block 99. Wizense says, check it out. I found out after the fact that the director of this movie was the same person who directed Bone Tomahawk. So that might give you an idea of the kind of movie this is. It's fucking fantastic. It's a real sleeper.
I know how the brawl ends.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a real sleeper. Maybe it's not as bad. It's not nearly, it's graphic, but it's not nearly as graphic.
What if it
as
was that
Bone
director's
Tomahawk.
signature, like in every film that he makes, that happens.
That thing
They
happens.
work it in. It's like a comedy. It just happens like in the background.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That's like they're walking by.
Sam Raimi and
Or a
Tree
cartoon on the
It's their
TV.
signature move.
Or but that gives you anyone that's seen Bone Tomahawk an idea. Fantastic movie. I really, really highly recommend. The next one I watched is a movie called Arkansas. A movie about another drug dealer, this time in the South. Vince Vaughn is in this one too, but not as a lead. It's directed by, it stars Clark Duke, and I don't know if you know who Clark Duke is, but he actually wrote and directed this as well. Clark Duke was in season 9 of The Office. He was the nerdy guy with the glasses.
Clark. Okay.
And, yeah, Clark, exactly.
Fuck Jan or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
Hot Tub Time Machine, and he was also in Hot Tub Time Machine and Kick Ass. So you'll see him out there.
Both
But
the films I like.
he actually wrote and directed this movie as well as being in it, and I really enjoyed it. It was 3.5 stars on that one. Was it say? Says check it out.
What's it called again?
Arkansas. Liam Hemsworth, John Malkovich, Michael Kenneth Williams, rest in peace, and of course Vince Vaughn is in that one. So on
Where's
to
our
the
Vince
other.
Vaughnazons?
Vince Vaughn is on.
Damn, that's dude.
Are there any good SNES or any SNES games based on Vince Vaughn movies?
Is there a Blow SNES game?
What's that one where they? What's that one movie where he and that fucking other guy from Iron Man go around saying there was a cat? Oh, you're so money.
Oh, that's
Swingers.
Swingers.
I almost
yeah.
said Boiler Room.
Is there an
Yeah, it's
SNES swingers game? Maybe. So
It's a
anyway,
game we could play and swing.
yeah. That's
In
all
my
the.
refractory period. I had to play a little Tiny Toons Adventures.
Is that the football level, dog? Let's
do
all
it.
go in on that.
You're so money.
It's making
So
me ready.
money.
You don't even know it.
Vegas, baby.
Vegas, baby. That's all I got to report on watching of stuff. I played a little Overwatch this week. Almost making it to the end of my battle pass. I found some really interesting settings. I play on console, and it's gotten to the point where I just prefer playing it on console. And I found some interesting settings from some like high-ranked console players that have really I put in and dialed in the game and have really managed to get some big improvements in my gameplay and my aim and things of that nature. So that's good. So I'm really gearing up for season 9 of Overwatch. There's a complete a revamp of Overwatch coming next week. Well, actually, as of the airing of this episode, it's already happened. It's already happened. But it happens the day before Valentine's Day is when this is happening. They're revamping comp. They're changing a lot of really core fundamental things about the actual game.
And nerf Kenji finally.
They're not going to nerf Kenji.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't think they need to nerf him, right?
They don't need to.
Because
you're either good with Genji or you're not.
Right, and I am not. And I was so bummed about
Genji's
that. Genji's
tough.
Because he's cool as hell, but
he is cool as hell, but he's tough to play. I've gotten a little better with him because I do play Mystery Heroes, so I will occasionally get Genji, and I've gotten to the point where I can hold my own with him. I definitely am nowhere near. I'm like good adjacent with Genji, but that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see the changes. And Tyler, they're doing the theme for the next season. I was going to bring up to you because I thought you would enjoy it. It's Eldritch themed, so there's going to be a lot. Like Torbjorn has a Call of Cthulhu kind of skin, and cool. They're going to do up all the characters in that. And then we found out, John and I was watching this yesterday, and they did the announcement for season 9 in Overwatch yesterday, and it was like this big event on YouTube where they just basically did a countdown to the trailer for the new season. So the trailer runs through and it's real quick. It's like comp changes, yay, Eldritch themed.
It's real quick unless you're looking for something specific, which I was. In which case I was like, oh my God, how long is this trailer? I heard there's a thing in it and I want to know about it.
So I got to the end. Yeah, it went fast for me, but I could understand not being an Overwatch
I was like, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
And I mentioned this on the Discord, but all the way at the end of the trailer, it's almost like a stinger. This shows Route 66 map, which is kind of like a diner in an Old West kind of theme. And then in the background, you start to hear some music playing, and then they come in on a jukebox, which is in the diner, and they play the ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum-ba from Cowboy Bebop. So they're implying that there is going to be a Cowboy Bebop crossover in Overwatch, which is really cool.
It's insane.
I love that they did this with One Punch Man. It was pretty sweet. I'm hoping that they go a little bit farther with this one. I actually had a really nice chat in the Discord, bit.ly/TADPOG Discord. TasteThePiss.com. Sorry. With a bunch of people, we were kind of riffing on who would be good in what character role, and lots of good options. Fun. There's a long thread on Reddit about it as well. My only pretty much 99% sure pick is that Widowmaker is going to be Faye. Outside of that, I don't know. It could go anywhere. But anyway, so I thought that was really cool.
Junkrat is Ed's dad.
Teddy Bomber.
Teddy Bomber would be a Junkrat. Yeah, perfect. That's perfect.
I want Teddy Bomber. I want Andy.
See, and I've mentioned this in the Discord. I don't think for the One Punch Man they only did 4 people for the characters.
Probably not deep cuts.
And they're not. Well, the Terrible Tornado. Kiriko is the Terrible Tornado, and I would say, from a general One Punch Man lore, like if you've just seen a couple of episodes, you might not know who Terrible Tornado is. But again, I will say on the record that Soldier 76's Moomin Rider was peak casting. They did a good job there. But I'm hoping that they do more than just 4 skins. But, there's 4 main characters in that game, and they're probably just going to skin someone with those costumes. So I doubt we're going to get...
Ina's Wrecking Ball is like such an easy... Well, just like make the ear triangles and we're done.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I mean.
And his Wrecking Ball being the Bebop.
Uh-huh.
I suggested Diva as Spike and her mecha being decorated like the Bebop. Some people suggested that it would probably be Diva would probably be Faye, and that it would be Faye's like ship that they use. So
Who
I don't
has
know.
a giant sword?
Huh?
Who has a giant sword?
Who has a giant sword?
What Overwatch character
Nobody.
could just be vicious?
Yeah, Genji's the only.
Genji's the only sword user, but and I was mentioning this as well. They tip for an event like this, if they don't do everyone, they won't reuse someone they just did in a previous crossover or event. So Genji was in the One Punch Man. It was Genji, Soldier 76. Doomfist was actually Saitama, and Kiriko was Terrible Tornado. But anyway, I'm looking forward to that event. I'll be talking about that a lot. I don't think the crossover will probably happen until probably midway through season 9. They usually do that kind of thing about midway through the season to get everybody to come back in.
Yeah.
So I will update on that. I'll either be really happy or really frustrated with Overwatch as of this time next week. So we'll see. But I'm excited
because it's got me real curious. I mean,
I like what they're doing. I'm actually going to start playing competitive again and try to rank up in comp, just because of the changes they're making. They're doing a lot for quick play. They penalize levers, and they're giving you more transparent information so you don't have to guess at where you stand. So a lot of times in comp, when you would rank up or down, you don't know why. You just go up or you go down.
Yeah,
and then now they're going to come
annoying.
And they don't show you where you are in the progression in your current rank.
That's how Heroes of the Storm was too.
Yeah, it's just kind of a guess. It's like you hope that you go up, and if you go down, you never get any reason as to why.
And I would go onto a website and try to figure out.
Right.
And it's why am I doing this? This should be in the game. Or,
Well, and that was, again, a Blizzard thing. Mm-hmm. And now they're going to be very transparent, and they're going to say, these are the reasons that you might have ranked down. Your team was favored to win, but you lost. So you lost some cred there. But you in particular were favored to win, and you won.
You sucked in particular, so you got nothing.
So
sir.
they're gonna add that kind of thing to it, which I think is really good. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah, I love that.
All the characters now, not just support, are going to get a very mild passive heal. Nothing game breaking. Everybody's going to get more health. But damage is going to be dealt with differently. They're working on the aiming, and they're working on the size of the pixels for hit scan projectiles, and just all manner of things are going to be covered on this update. So I'm really looking forward to that, and we'll see what happens. Moving on, found out I do need a roof.
Fun.
And now I've signed papers.
Cool.
I had to borrow money and finance the fucking thing. So I had a couple of things that I had been paying off, particularly this MacBook right here and our mattress. Guess what month my payments ended?
This month.
Yeah. And guess how much my payment on my roof is going to be for every month for the next 15 years if I don't pay it off early.
It's the same as what you're paying for the MacBook and the mattress.
Exactly. Yeah. So once again, I'm not getting ahead, not really falling behind.
Law of equivalent exchange.
But it is absolutely the law of equivalent exchange. So that's
how do you
fun.
transmute a new roof? MacBook and a mattress.
So that's that. It would be nice to have a new roof and not have to worry about it anymore, and having a guarantee on it for 50 years or whatever it is. All that's fine.
Yep.
I just wanted that money back so I could pay off other things.
Right.
And now I haven't gotten any farther ahead, but whatever. It is what it is. I'm grateful that the roof didn't just collapse. The whole thing could have cost a lot more. The financing that I had to do is one of those, we're gonna give you up to this much, and then when they actually finish the job, the quote came in at about $5,000 less than what I'm actually quote unquote borrowing. So when the job's finished, if it comes in at the quote that he gave me or thereabouts, my payment will be less.
And you get to buy 10 Steam Decks.
But they'll only loan me the exact amount of the job. And I told the guy that came to sign the papers and sold us the roof and everything else, and I'm planning on getting this paid off early because the interest is not great. But I also don't have great credit, so I take what I can get. But the guy told I told the guy, I was like, look, I don't want $5,000 in surprises. Don't come to me and tell me you found $5,000 worth of shit on
He's
this.
like, no, absolutely not.
On this inspection,
$10,000.
Yeah. So don't do that shit
Minimum,
to me,
sir.
because I know better. He seemed like a pretty straightforward guy, but I was very clear that I'm not gonna get fucked on this. So I'll probably get fucked on it. But either way, I'll have a new roof. So Dave, what have you been up to?
Nothing. That's been horrible for me.
Yeah, I've heard.
But I don't want to bring the show down, so I'm not going to talk about it. But just know that it's been bad. Watched toys. I did that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I played some Final Fantasy 14. That's nice. Got Fisher from 0 to Cap over the weekend. That was fun. Ocean fishing in that game.
Do you fish up like Krakens like in Ultima when you get fishing up that high in this? Or is
you don't. You did that in Final Fantasy 11 as well.
Yeah, you did on the boat. Yeah.
What was it called? The Sea Monk? Mm-hmm. Was that it? It was the Sea Monk?
Sea Monk.
The giant Kraken comes up and...
Or the NM version sometimes, too, that would really fuck your shit up.
But that's like, there's a version of that in Final Fantasy 14 called Ocean Fishing, and that's pretty much all I did. It's super fun. There's a boat you can catch once every 2 hours. And
like a charter boat. You just get out, they take you out. You don't have to sail your own vessel.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And then you go out there.
Spoiled ass kids.
That's right.
with your chartered vessels. And in my day, I had to buy a boat.
I had to steal a deed from a man and bring it up to the ocean real quick.
And a fishing rod.
Excuse me, you steal the key, not the deed.
Steal a key, sorry. Thank you.
Please, Tyler.
Thank you.
We're a respectable podcast.
I cry your pardon.
Do you ken it? It's a key. Do you ken it? Lord help me and the man Jesus.
I thought you were Trig.
I'm pert.
Just a pert cully. Not a Trig.
3 listeners are very amused.
And us.
And us.
That's all I care
Most
about
importantly.
right now.
Yeah. Well, it's their problem, isn't it? The not knowers.
Those who have forgotten the face of the the ocean fishing's fun. No, you don't fish up sea monks, which is kind of a good thing because it kind of sucked to
die at sea. Yeah, no, I can relate to that.
As a dead carcass whenever the boat lands.
Yeah,
Right.
I can absolutely
you have to wait for it to land.
Because coming from a GM Fisher, a 120 GM Fisher,
Damn, nice.
fighting Krakens. You better get ready because they will fuck with you. And dying at sea sucks because I can't remember if the boat could respond to your directions.
Yeah. Well, you had to macro that in because how the game wants you to control a boat is go
South.
Yeah.
West.
Type the direction in.
Ooh. Boats like I don't understand. Ooh, I don't have spirit speak.
Right. But yeah, it's cool. It's fun. I got into it because that Hunt for Genesis Moogle Tomes event that's going on. The big thing was you get like 50 tomes if you get a score of 8,000 on ocean fishing, and it's like, oh, okay, sure, let's try fishing. And regular fishing, not ocean fishing, is fine. It's all right. Fish up treasure maps and stuff. And I've done it here and there because now I'm also working on like a culinarian, and it's like, well, I can fucking like fish. I can fish.
That's why I made Super Bank in 11.
I'm not gonna make a lot of money doing it, I don't think. But I'm trying to get. This is gonna get really fucking like in the weeds for people who don't play. I'm not an expert on the game by a fucking far sight, but like. I want to get a crafter up to 50 so that I can desynth materials. Because what happens is I get off these ocean fishing trips, and everybody's on the dock going like so many people. I'm like, what are they doing? And Zal's like, they're desynthing. What's that? Oh, well, they take the shit that's worthless and they try to salvage shit that might be worthwhile from it. And it's like, oh, I want to do that. What do I need to do that? And I like look it up, and it's like, okay, I gotta get like a crafter to 50. So
is that like harvesting components type of thing? Like in Cyberpunk, you can like take all the worthless crap you have and harvest it for components that you can either use
You can do
or
that in
sell.
11 too with lightning crystals.
with the lightning crystal, right? And it's called desynthing also in Final Fantasy 11, right? So it is a little like that, but like you can get some of your bait back essentially, so you don't have to rebuy bait. They've got a cool, I gotta say, man, because I'm new to the gathering and crafting in this game, they've got a really cool system set up where it's like you earn what are called scripts, which are essentially like little, it's currency, essentially. It's a special currency that you get from gathering and crafting, and then you can use that currency to buy special items and like gear and stuff for your crafter. And it's like I didn't really know anything about scripts. I'd heard of them, but I didn't care. I was just having fun fishing, and my gear was bad. I mean, it was like I didn't care about that either. Just did my fishing quests that I had to do, because they gate you behind some quests. And cool. I got a hat. Okay, put my hat on, put my fishing hat on, and I'd go get back on the fucking boat. And then like I got to Cap, and Zal was like, talk to this NPC. And I go talk, and it's like, oh, okay, I can buy gear from this NPC. And I'm maxed out on scripts because I haven't been spending them.
Right.
And so I just bought the full set of like level 80 gear.
I love when you can do that
and all that kind of shit.
Right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's not like the top tier stuff. It's not the level 90 stuff, but there's a big difference. There's a big difference between like the 35 and level 40 like hat and shit to like everything being like a nice like level 80 blue.
So now you're like Forrest Gump level fishing.
I don't know
you're
about
pulling
that.
in like just tons and tons of shrimp.
Pulling in all them jennies. So that's been cool. That's been fun. Because of that, like the adventuring side has kind of fallen off this week. Like Dancer's still at 89, but I mean, whatever, it is what it is.
I like that shit more in an MMO.
I do too.
It's the ocean fishing is so much fun because it's like a dungeon but for fishing, and that I mean that they put you on a boat with it's a raid. You're put in a party, and the boat can have up to 3 total parties, and you're all fishing, and everybody can have a different goal, but you can affect the other fishers by if you're going for points. You want to, in the weeds again, sorry. You want to get a spectral current. So in order to do that, if you catch a special fish that has spectral in its name, there's a chance that you're going to proc a spectral current. And then like the landscape changes. All of a sudden you're in this like galactic sea, and you're fishing up like all these crazy fish, and you're casting really fast, and like you're reeling in a whole bunch. And the fucking fishing in this game is, I think Nikki is very kind, and I think she listens to me when I talk to her about this stuff, but I've got to be probably annoying her because like I keep talking about the way they've got
The
fishing.
guy at the baseball game with the sunglasses.
Yeah, it's that. It's that. And she's very nice, and she'll ask, and it's like, we were watching toys, and I was like, it's 8:00, got to get on the boat. So, pause the movie, get up, go fish for 20 minutes, come back. But the way it's set up is it's essentially gambling, and it's essentially betting, because what you do is you cast the line. In ocean fishing, there's 3 different kinds of bait, and the bait will determine what you're more likely to fish up. So it's going to pull from different pools. And then what you can do is you can set up a macro that counts. All it does is count after you cast. So you cast and it starts counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you get a bite on 4, you know, oh, it's most likely to be this fish. And the reason that's important is because you have abilities that allow you to like hook up multiple fish. So it's like if it's a shrimp that you want and you're like, okay, the fish bit on 4, good chance it's a shrimp. Let me triple cast or triple hook and pull up 8 of those shrimp instead of 1. So it's kind of one of those things where that's what's intriguing to me about it is it feels like on every cast you're kind of, it's not just a slot machine where it's like, what kind of fish am I going to pull up? Which is exciting too, but you can also kind of like bet against the cast or with it, you know, like I like that. It's cool. It's engaging.
Yeah. No, better than Control X, Moat Carp. All right. Insect Ball.
It
Control
depends.
X, Moat Carp.
It depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
I mean, I liked that just fine in Final Fantasy 11. But yeah, it's not as engaging. I imagine people, I don't know, man. I don't know how people bot fishing in this game, if they even do, because it's like, I'm sure they probably could.
It's really interactive, so you
But
gotta.
yeah, I think if you were to bot it, your yield is going, they've designed it in a way where it feels like the yield is going to be much lesser than if you're actively doing it. So it's cool. I like it.
That's cool.
It's great. And then I finished Wolves of the Kala.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yes.
And started on Song of Susanna. Which I think you guys might have mentioned this, but I forgot. That is a short book. I was like super surprised when I saw the time on it. I was like, holy shit, this is like half the size of what I'm used to.
I do remember it being quite a bit shorter.
Which makes me nervous. It makes me worried.
I think he was in, because the Dark Tower is not short.
Yeah, I remember
It's
you
like
guys saying it's the longest.
thick boy.
Yeah.
So I think I think he had some unfinished business.
Like the turtle of enormous girth.
Yeah. Maturin.
I'm impressed. I can't remember all the names.
There's a reason I remember Maturin, and I think you'll get to that in Song of Susanna.
Okay.
And I'll mention it once you're finished. I think it was in Song of Susanna. It might have been actually in the Dark Tower. When you're finished, I'll bring it up because it's something that I think about all the time.
Okay.
So it'll come up again.
Okay. And this is a little Dark Tower Final Fantasy 14 crossover. I've been so tempted to either change my character name, my Lalafell Taru, or make a new character and name him Bango Skank.
Listen, I recently went
You should see my Scott Pilgrim notes.
I recently went through a branding change for myself on all my platforms. I do that.
I do this
periodically.
Yeah, I do this too.
I'm the Blue Band now. If anyone's interested, and no one, I know the same 6 people we talked about earlier are going to be the only ones that might get it, but I don't care. I like it better than Automaito, just because it's more timeless for me than something that I'm, I latched on to All Might,
right?
And I still love All Might
Yeah.
and my hero, but that's not what I feel like represents
You're a hero.
me. I am a hero. More importantly, I'm the Blue Band. Anyway, I went through a branding change, and one of my possibilities was going to be Bango Skank.
Nice.
But I didn't know which platform. I want it to be the same. I got the Blue Band on Xbox with no numbers behind it.
Wow.
I have an Xbox gamer tag now that has no numbers because no one else on the planet has it. The Blue Band.
That's mind blowing.
I kind of am shocked at that.
I'm shocked.
But I didn't want to change it on Xbox and then have BattleNet say we don't allow that word skank.
Right.
So I just left it
Bango
out. But I
Skank.
really wanted Bango Skank, but no, that's I didn't go with that.
Fucko Skank.
So yeah, I've been tempted. I might still do it fuck it, just have a Bango Skank. Or I can name my retainers Bango Skank. I mean, I might actually do that.
To me, Bango Skanks.
Yeah.
Heil, Bango Skank.
Man, you talking
well
about...
met. Long days and pleasant nights, Bango Skank.
Don't walk to the clearing at the end of the path, Bango Skank.
Good luck.
You talking about doing like a name branding change, like across the board, reminded me like, dude, Discord won't get off my fucking back about changing my username, or I guess like registering it or whatever. I don't know what they want me to do.
Yeah.
But it's like every time I'm like, remind me later. Nope. And the reason is because I can't get Graveyard Duck without fucking numbers and shit behind it. It's like, no, man, if I can't have it, I'm not playing your fucking game.
I hear you.
I know a day will come when they're like, if you want to be on this platform, you need to do this.
Have
or
to do this, yeah.
we've done it for you is probably more likely.
Yeah, that's probably what it's going to be. I think that's what BattleNet did.
Is that right?
They like changed everyone, or it was I can't remember if it was BattleNet or Microsoft or both. But Microsoft changed their username format, and it was like you can have any username you want, but it's going to have a zip code behind it, like. And I never liked that.
Nope.
But I got used to it because that's kind of the way it is everywhere. But then when I picked Blue Bend and it said your gamer tag will be changed to the Blue Bend, no numbers. So I was like, gimme.
Confirm. Man.
It's like buying a domain.
Yeah.
Going and wanting a domain and it being available.
There, and it's like, I got to buy Piss Tasters.
Exactly. Yes.
Hey, man, you talking about Microsoft on the Xbox, that made me think of, I have not changed my profile pic since I set it on the Xbox 360. And because of that, it is just like so low res and like tiny and hilarious to me that I'll never. It's just a tiny pixelated earthworm Jim face. That I'm never gonna change it.
You shouldn't, but I know the one you speak of. I've seen it.
Just confirming my boomer status online every day.
I was just like, I'm still kind of in a funk about Barry, so I haven't want to start a new TV show. Although I did enjoy 90% of the last episode. Sally's probably my new most hated character,
dude,
in all of fiction.
Same.
Sally's so bad.
She's bad, and she starts off like almost as the one that you want to see succeed, and then what's the opposite of redemption? Damnation, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't really played. I streamed T Edition a few more times. It only gets more fun.
Cool.
I got my ass beat it several different times. Some things are different. Like now on the Floating Continent, you beat Atma Weapon. Beat my ass the first time, so I went old school and rasped it to death. That was pretty easy. And then you fight Kefka. If you beat him, that's how you get the experience egg.
In what form do you fight Kefka?
He looks like he did on the snowfield, but he's green.
Okay.
And I feel like if I had kept trying, I probably could have beaten him, but I was like, I didn't save it for that moment. I don't want to do that again. Yeah.
Think about it.
But the whole Floating Continent scenario was weird because, okay, I beat Atma, lost to Kefka thinking, oh, shit. And then Gestahl goes, enough Kefka. And then you just keep going with the game. So I was like, oh, that's an option. I wonder what would have happened if I'd beaten him. Well, that's how you get the experience egg if you beat him. And then, of course, the whole shit happens, and I'm running for the edge, not realizing, like, first time ever, I ran out of time. Like, I'm fighting Narapa.
The Rappa.
I run Narapa. Narapa the Rappa. I ran out of time when I was fighting him. And I was like, shit, I got to do this. I haven't saved that for Atma, so I have to do Atma. I have to do Kefka. And then counter went to 0, and then Shadow just jumps in. He's like, okay, thanks for waiting for me. And that's it. And I was like, is that how it is in the normal game?
That's what I was
Is that
doing.
what happens?
I was waiting for you.
Yeah. No. The devil wasn't holding me up.
Come on, let's go.
So, I mean, it makes me want to go back and look at like a vanilla playthrough. Is that happens if you are at a time when you're fighting the boss? Do you
I doubt it. I
was like, that was weird. So, like, I feel like I failed everything on the bloody got it and just got away with it.
To me, it sounds like they knew that was very difficult.
Yeah, because it was.
And that a lot of people were going to not make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I have to do everything all over again. Sid only takes like 3 fast fish, and there he goes. So that was nice. Instead of having to spend half an hour catching good fish and then shitty fish when you're out of options and then trying to do all that. But now in the World of Ruin is supposedly where it really opens up and all the extra content and all that, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I just now, when I went to get the experience egg in Daryl's tomb, hardest fight I've done so far. It was monster and chest instead of experience egg. So I was like, okay, I don't know what the fuck's going on with this. I'm out. But I've got the airship. So now I'm excited once I have time to stream it again and see where else I can go and do all of it. It's really fun. Other than that, that's it. You know, a lot of busy stuff at work. Still trying to work through a lot of issues. But it's all right. I got a raise, so I'm good.
Hell yeah.
So I'll deal with it.
Glad to hear that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But you guys want to try some chips and do a draft?
Sure. Let's do it.
So I happened to be at Food Giant, and there was a big stand of Japanese snacks at our local Food Giant. And I was like,
All right.
okay.
All right.
So I bought 3 that didn't sound disgusting.
Takoyaki. Got some octopus.
So yeah, takoyaki balls, honey butter potato chips, and
Some sweet potatoes?
melty cheese pizza potato chips.
Okay.
All right.
And then this is some onion powder I meant to take out of the bag and forgot.
No, I want that.
You just
Come
store
on.
some
I
onion
wanna put
powder.
No,
some-
you can't just pull out onion powder and not expect us to want it.
What you guys want to try first?
Tease?
What is a Tokiyaki ball?
We'll taste that one first. Maybe if we don't like it, the other two can get
Is
stuff
it
out of our
is
mouth.
it squid flavored?
Octopus.
Yep.
Octopus flavored?
So it's bits in Japan. I know it's bits of octopus in this special like brown donut, almost like a.
Okay. I'm not going to eat that.
Okay.
No offense. I don't have a strong stomach for that kind of thing. I did find buffalo flavored Cheetos at Walmart last week.
Wow. That
They're-
sounds
they're-
like something that should have been around before now.
It does, doesn't it? It's real good. They're real good.
Did you pass those to Dave?
I will.
Thank you, sir.
Because I've always wanted to try this is nowhere near it, but like authentic takoyaki.
Yeah, me too. Calbee brand. Ah, yes. Calbee.
Calbee.
Let your taste buds take a trip through the street food stalls in Japan with our takoyaki ball. Each bite has the same savory flavor as takoyaki, but with an airy, light, crispy texture. And then there's like an Olive Garden boat full of meatballs. I don't know what that
I love the squid or the octopus on the front with the sushi chef headband.
Y'all. Yes.
All right, takoyaki balls.
That's pretty good.
But
It's sweet.
I taste more like sweet corn than I do anything else.
Does it taste fishy?
Yeah. No.
It's okay.
How about some pizza potato chips?
It's almost like cereal.
It is,
It's
but
sweet.
it's got a weird aftertaste though. I don't care for the aftertaste, but that wasn't too bad.
That's the yaki.
That's the yaki kicking in.
Melty cheese pizza potato chips.
Now this I will not hesitate. It probably
looks
tastes like fish.
It looks like a combo. Yeah,
do.
this tastes like fish. Yes.
Traditional American tuna pizza.
Also, tuna fish.
Takoyaki, melty cheese pizza.
Also, Calbee brand. Important to note.
probably got the same flavoring in it. Just the bag tells you it's supposed to be something else.
Okay, piece of potato chip.
That's good. I like that.
Tomatoey.
It is. It's real good. It's got a flavor similar to something I used to have when I was a kid, and I can't remember. It was pizza flavored something.
You know
but
those like pizzerios, whatever, like a white bag that have the Italian stuff on it?
Yes, that's the one.
I used to eat those all the time.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God, those were good. And they always put so much flavor on those. Those chips were like orange, like dark orange with powder.
Honey butter potato chip.
Also a Calbee joint.
Calbee.
Thank you, sir. What a weird thing that food giant
For them to carry,
Yeah.
I know.
They're just trying to latch on to that. The craze.
Somebody got really into anime that week that did the order.
Yeah, the CEO is like, "All right, guys, I'm dating an e-girl, and we gotta
right.
buy these takoyaki chips."
All right, full confession. I am the CEO of Food Giants. It took like a month and a half to get this stuff in. So.
Honey butter potato chip.
I like the texture of the chip.
Me too.
It's kind of like a kettle chip almost.
It's like in between Lay's and Kettle.
Yeah,
I do like the sweetness
That's a
of
good
it.
sweet
I
flavor.
do too because
Yeah.
it's not too sweet.
It's a pretty good chip.
Yeah, not bad at all. None of those are too bad.
I'd buy that for $1.
Well, it was not a dollar.
I was gonna say, I bet it would
It was
cost
12 of them for all that.
more
Well,
than
let's get the chip clips out. Make sure these don't go
Yeah,
stale.
save those. Take them in.
I'm fine.
Let's not leave them out here like we used to do.
I buy a bag and just like, we'll just eat one and that's fine.
It's an investment. Everyone
So-
will up their donation.
There you go.
That's an investment.
Exactly.
I've talked to them all. They said, "Yeah."
We had a little discussion earlier today, didn't we? And we determined that this episode is airing on Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
also known as my anniversary. So we decided, Tyler, did we not, that we were going to do certain specific kind of draft, a Valentine's Day themed, if you will,
Romantic comedies.
romantic comedies. Open for interpretation, I hope.
All right. Dave, 1 through 4.
1.
Ian,
4.
3. I didn't even say a number. So I'm
It's
rolling
probably gonna be
again.
3 though, right?
I'll say 3. 2.
This is rigged,
All
I
right,
tell
one more.
you.
I'm going home.
3.
Tyler. Tyler, Dave, me.
All right. My number 1 favorite romantic comedy of all time is The Holiday.
The Holiday. Who's in that one? I've probably seen all of these, but I don't remember the
Jack
titles.
Black, Cameron Diaz,
Yes.
Jude Law.
So wait, Jack Black and Cameron Diaz were in that, and they were also in another romantic comedy together.
Were they?
I gotta find the name of it. Go ahead.
But yeah, The Holiday.
Shit.
Dave.
My number 1 draft pick is Shaun of the Dead.
Love it.
That is not only my favorite rom-com. That's like a top 10 movie for me.
I'm sorry that
Very good pick.
I'm sorry I did not get that on my list because that's a very, very good pick. Best number 1 Super China buffet on my list. Gross Point Blank.
Okay.
Never seen that.
It's been a long time since I've seen it. I need to rewatch it because
It is in my top. It's in my top 5 favorite movies of all time. Highly 5 stars. Wiz and Sage says, check it out. You got to watch Gross Point Blank at some point in your life. John Cusack,
A Robot's Brother.
the girl. I can't remember her name now. All of a sudden, Jeremy Piven, Dan Aykroyd, the guy that does Apu's voice on The Simpsons.
Hank
Is it Hank Azaria?
Hank
Does he
Azaria.
do
Hank Azaria is in it. Yes, it's a fucking great. Joan Cusack is in it. In one of her. Speaking of toys, Joan Cusack is in this.
Yeah.
As one of my favorite characters she's ever played, but she's in the movie for maybe 5 minutes at the most. It just goes on and on.
She sings in the bathroom because the acoustics are great in there.
Not in this one.
Oh, shit.
No. But I do absolutely 100%. It's homework, people. Watch Grosse Point Blank at some point. You'll love it. Or you won't. I don't care, but I love it.
My number 2 will be the movie my high school girlfriend's dad, when he asked me, what do you want for Christmas? I said, this movie. So he instead bought me Tomb Raider.
Debbie Does Dallas. Oh, Tomb Raider.
Titanic?
The Family Man.
Oh,
Starring
that's
Nicolas
right.
Cage and Téa Leoni.
That is a good
Fucking
movie.
loved, and that still made an impact on me, how big they went for each other's anniversaries. And I always remembered that. And it was just like, okay, when I get married, that's absolutely what I'm going to do. And that is still what I do from the influence of The Family Man.
It's a great movie. I did very much enjoy it.
There's too many cutaways for me. I don't really.
Dave, number 2.
Chasing Amy.
All right.
It's a Kevin Smith joint.
Yeah. Came out after Clerks.
Came out after Clerks, before Dogma,
Before
after
Mallrats. After Mallrats. You're right.
I think it's after Mallrats.
Ooh.
That's a little fuzzy.
I'm pretty sure it is after
I
Mallrats,
think it
though.
goes Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Mallrats 2. No, Clerks 2. No. Fuck it.
It's Dogma.
Dogma,
Jay and Silent
fuck.
Bob Strike Back.
Shit, yeah.
But yeah, Chasing Amy. I don't know. I like the movie. I feel like it's one of those movies there have been discussions about where it's like, it doesn't age well. But
Still a good movie.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, number 2.
Scott Pilgrim.
I thought
Versus
about
the
putting
World.
Scott Pilgrim
Okay.
on my list. That's a good pick.
It's probably as much a rom-com as anything I've ever seen, but it just is framed in a way that keeps me very entertained, obviously, that I love. Yeah, Scott Pilgrim, number 2.
My number 3, I've only seen bits and pieces of it. Pretty Woman.
Oh, pretty woman.
Just going for points on the board with that one.
Hey, it's got Jason Alexander. Can't go wrong.
Yeah,
Got hair.
That's true. Yeah, that was back in his McDLT days.
Uh huh. Yep, you're right.
And, one of the most personable and outgoing, approachable actresses in the industry, Julia Roberts. We all know how
Tinkerbell.
we all know how much she loves,
Well, I remember
being genuine.
asking about that movie, like people being so crazy about it. I don't remember who I was talking to about it. They're like, yeah, prostitute, heart of gold. They don't kiss, and he saves her. I was like, oh, does he like hire her but then not fuck her? They're like, oh no, he fucks her.
That's the rom part.
She has the heart of gold. Were you not listening? He's just a dude who likes to fuck.
He's got a heart of gold.
He's got the Midas touch.
Having a bunch of money doesn't hurt.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
She has a heart of gold and also likes this dude's lots of fucking shit tons of money, man.
Money doesn't hurt. I'm not gonna lie.
Dave, number 3.
Knocked Up.
Knocked Up is
Knocked
a very
Up.
good one.
Little Judd Apatow
Yes.
film.
Ian, Tree.
The Princess Bride.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Classic.
Classic. Yep. I need to rewatch that. It's been a long time since I have watched
I
it.
just actually watched it the other day. It happened to be on, and we left it there. And I love it. I love that movie. The dialogue alone is worth it, but the it's one of those stories. Also featuring Robin Wright, who is in Toys.
Yeah.
Buttercup.
I did not recognize her
Buttercup
at all.
is in Toys. So, yes.
God, man.
I'm making a
Jesus
lot of
Christ, you're
crossovers
right.
here unintentionally.
Yeah.
So yeah, Princess Bride.
Quite a bit younger than Rob Williams in that movie. Quite a bit younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his dad set her up with him through employment, through his company.
Yeah, it was through his company. Hand selected. She even says hand selected.
Yep. Not weird.
Nope.
Wait, there's weird stuff in that movie?
You're right.
We should talk about that sometime.
We should.
The movie Toys.
I agree.
How about later tonight?
It's not good for me.
Okay.
I'll points on the board again with one of Melissa's favorite movies, When Harry Met Sally.
It's a great movie.
Classic.
It's a great movie. We watched it, I think last year we watched it. And it was the first time I had ever sat down and actually watched it all the way through. I enjoyed it. Very good movie.
Yeah, it's a good
pick.
movie.
Good pick.
I'll have what she's having.
Yes.
David Defoe.
Punch Drunk Love.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's interesting. I have
Oh wait, is that the Adam Sandler movie? Mm-hmm. Yes, I have seen it.
yeah. Yeah, it's an interesting kind of like take on it. And it's really interesting to see. It's a good role for Adam Sandler because it's one of those movies where he is kind of pretty much playing one of his characters that he plays in movies.
Right.
But it's all like done through like the lens of more so reality than in like say Adam Sandler, Billy Madison or
Happy Gilmore type.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to see like that same kind of like rage man, but kind of in
Like a real life interpretation.
not
of,
a super
of
lovable way.
Yeah, gotcha.
Ian, number 4.
I'm going to be able to go to 10 on this one if you guys want. I've got I'm not in I have my list in no particular order. I'm just picking from my list. Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's my number 4. Just watched that the other day on Groundhog Day.
That's a good day to watch it.
Yeah, they run it on a like AMC.
Oh, really?
From midnight to
They do a
midnight.
marathon?
They do
Cool.
a marathon of it. So you're guaranteed. And it's funny because you can watch it anytime, but it's also because you're doing the same thing over and over if you just leave it on that channel.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. And now suddenly I'm buying Buffalo Cheetos, and I don't know why.
Number 5. I'll say Happy Gilmore then.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good pick. A good love story.
Because it was my suggestion, and I'm struggling with it.
Oh, well, we don't have to go to 10 if you don't want to. I'll just do honorable mentions. I've got them. Dave, you're up.
Another Adam Sandler joint, one that Nikki and I have watched a whole hell of a lot. I don't know. We liked it. Other than that, I don't know why we watched it so much. Maybe we had it on VHS or something. But The Wedding Singer.
Dude, that is a great fucking movie. For the music alone, that movie is great.
Yeah, it's...
speaking of Don Johnson, Miami Vice, the boyfriend that dresses like Miami Vice, drives a literal DeLorean.
Takes the Don Jonassance a little bit too far.
He does. He celebrated about 20 years early, too.
Right? Yeah, but man, that movie, we've watched that one, like back in college, we watched that one so many times.
We did, too. That's a great pick.
Times.
Ian, number 5.
My number 5 is also an Adam Sandler movie. A lot of rom-coms from Adam.
Is it also Drew Barrymore?
It is. 50 First Dates. Fucking love that movie.
I have seen it. I liked it too.
That one actually still to this day gets me a little choky at the end. I get a little verklempt.
The video and stuff.
Yeah, because I love how happy it is. That is a very happy ending to a pretty funny movie. Yeah. And of course, Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore play so well off of each other. They
really, really good
I don't think
pairing.
they would be a good couple, but they're a great acting pair. They really know how to play
chemistry.
off one another.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And it's also like believable. Like
it is believable. To a certain extent, it really is. Yeah. So 51st Dates is my number 5. We doing 10 or are we going to honorable mention? If you're struggling, man.
If you really want to, I'll do it.
I've only got a few more.
Sorry, Henry's just sending me request after request for apps. I'm like, what the fuck? And he knows better. He knows it's broken. I can't, like, when I tap on it, nothing happens. Sorry.
Your call, brother.
Well, we'll just do honorable mentions so we can talk plenty about
toys.
I got 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club, two of my all-time favorites.
I didn't even think about shit.
Great romantic comedies. Clueless.
Smoke Up
is a good one for me. Liked Love Actually. That's a good Christmas rom-com. I watch that every year. And then the one I was trying to think of with Jack Black and who did you say?
Cameron Diaz.
It's not Cameron Diaz. It's Gwyneth Paltrow. Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal. Yeah, Shallow Hal's good.
Pretty good movie.
Yeah.
I never saw it.
It's
like
neat.
But I remember the commercial where
Jason Alexander
jumps in
again.
the pool.
With a tail.
Oh, Jason Alexander with the
Once
tan?
again.
Tail.
Oh, a tail.
Yeah.
Shit.
He's got
Like-
a little waggy tail.
Like a Goku, like
a
it's
nubbin.
Jason. Oh, hear me out. Jason Alexander plays Goku in a Jack Black movie. So, like the other
This
characters,
Piccolo is making me angry.
Elaine rips his tail off. I don't like this, and this is what I'm doing with it. Throws it out the window.
Elaine's Yajirobe.
No one else plays a Dragon Ball character. That's what's great about.
Oh,
that's what's great about the movie. Everyone else plays who they would normally play as Shallow Hal. It's just Jason Alexander plays Goku.
Okay.
All right,
Any
guys.
honorable mentions from you, Dave?
Bridesmaids. I don't know if that. would
Oh,
count.
that's a good one.
Shit.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And 40-Year-Old Virgin. I know.
Yeah.
I already did Knocked Up, so I didn't really want to do too Judd Up.
Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. I really
That
liked.
was okay. I mean, yeah. That wouldn't be on my personal one, but I could see that. Juno is another one that kind of reminds me of Nick and Nora,
Yeah.
I guess, because of.
Juno's one that you look back on and it's like, ooh.
I know, right?
Ooh.
Mhm. It's a different lens.
I saw a TikTok about that and 500 Days of Summer
Yep.
being one, like everyone's
I know.
sympathetic toward Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Then when you
know.
get older, it's like, what a fucking asshole.
Yeah, I liked 500 Days of Summer. I totally get the complaints about it. I'm not trying to defend it.
I don't
but
think I've seen that one.
it definitely made me feel emotions when I watched it. I'll give it that.
Okay, well, happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
Happy
Yeah.
Go
Valentine's.
snuggle
All
up
the
with
stuff I
your-
ordered still isn't in, and it was supposed to be. So,
For us, it's fine.
oh yeah, for you guys.
Well, you can give it
I
to us
still
on
need-
Valentine's Day
I
next
thought
week.
maybe
I
you had a
still
little-
need
or
to
the
figure
day
out
after.
Christmas gifts. I think your Christmas gift's is still in there.
Oh, well,
And yours is in my Amazon basket.
You can save it for next year. It's fine.
honorable mention. I gotta do 30 Rock Valentine's Day episode.
Okay.
It's great.
Which one's that again?
It's the one where Rachel Dratch plays a lady of the street that Jack picks up.
Oh,
And he puts her back where he found her.
I got to rewatch 30 Rock. It's been a while. And
I want to, but I can't get Melissa into it.
30 Rock rules,
God, it's
man.
the best.
God, I love
30
30
Rock
Rock.
rules. It's like jokes per minute is. I feel like 30 Rock is one of those shows that like kind of changed the way things were written because it was written so well.
Yeah.
And I do honestly think like StarCraft is all about like actions per minute, and like 30 Rock is all about fucking jokes per minute. And like the jokes are also layered.
Yeah.
Where it's like
God, I know.
you can find something funny, but for like 3 different reasons.
Yeah. So I have always thought that
Can I Google myself in your office, Liz Lemon? How else you gonna do it?
if I ever thought that I would meet a celebrity, I think I'd like to think that I would be, pretty chill about it.
Yeah.
If I ever meet Tina Fey, I'm going to lose my shit. I got a real thing for Tina
Top
Fey.
5.
Yeah,
Top 5.
easily.
Laminated on the laminated list.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I'll take a little break. Talk about toys.
I do.
Yeah. Of course.
You guessed wrong.
You only think I guessed wrong. That's what's so funny. I switched glasses when your back was turned. Ha ha, you fool. You fell victim to one of the classic blunders. The most famous is Never Get Involved in a Land War in Asia, but only slightly less well known is this: Never Go In Against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
And we're back for the game talk.
The
and movie
game
talk.
and the movie talk.
Movie
right.
talk first, yeah.
Movie talk first.
Yeah.
Toys the movie.
Toys, the film.
The film.
Please.
You're right. You're right.
Please,
You're
let's
right.
show some respect.
Dave, the 1992 film.
Yes.
Let's get all the things in there.
Melissa and her brother fucking love the shit out of this. They had it on VHS. They watched it repeatedly. They fucking adore it. So I watched it with... So my perception of it's probably colored because I watched it with somebody who was very happy and very enthusiastic and
Yeah.
was talking up every bit and laughing at every joke.
Good.
So
I think
Had you
that's
seen
great.
it before?
I knew the ending. I knew the surprise.
Uh-huh. The sister.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Spoilers for 1992's film The Toys.
Yeah. Joan Cusack's character is a robot the whole time.
Massive spoilers for 1992
I am
film.
Kilroy. Which I gotta say, honestly, what a weird fucking moment, but also like, okay, that makes sense. Because
It tracks.
I
You
thought
go-
she was just a challenged person.
I did too.
Yeah,
at
I really
first.
did. To a point where it's like Tropic Thunder, like you don't
She's simple jacking
like
him.
yeah, like you don't do
You
that.
don't
I mean,
go full. Yeah.
right, yeah. And it's like, well, it's 1992. I guess if Joan wants to do that, she can.
We
but
just watched that too. And holy shit.
that's a good movie.
fucking great movie.
I wish
Anyway,
there was this SNES Tropic
I
Thunder.
do as well. Just someone make that ROM so we can play it and talk about the movie. Maybe we should do a Patreon about Tropic Thunder. Anyway, I had seen this movie before, back in the day, back when it was, on VHS, and I hated it. Hated it. Fucking hated it. Watched it
Not
again.
what you're expecting it to be.
Watched it again
Especially,
today.
Like, so you rented on VHS. How old were you? Do you think at the time, like a teenager?
No, I would
In
have been.
1992, Ian was 36 years old.
In 1992, I was almost 20. Almost 20.
Okay. I was
Which we wouldn't have watched it. We didn't go to the theater, so we would have watched
whew, dodge that bullet.
it. We would have watched it when I was 20.
Okay.
Yeah.
We rented it, and I remember like pretty much begging my mom to rent it, and then she did rent it for me, and then boy was I disappointed. I didn't watch all of it because probably about 10 minutes in I was like, nope. It opens with it opens with like a fucking ballet,
Christmas
and a Christmas ballet thing.
party thing. I've got notes.
Yeah, and it was just like it was just like, oh no, I thought this is gonna be like about toys.
Yeah. We had that reaction as well. Even at 20,
Yeah.
we were excited for something. We love Robin Williams,
Right.
and I have some Robin Williams notes too. I need to make some amends, but I'll get to that in a minute.
But there are parts of this movie that are very Tim Burton-esque to me.
Yeah, the whole thing is.
And looking at it through a weird lens like that, I think makes it better.
So in what ways is it Tim Burton-esque?
Like some of the character choices, the set design, the costume design, some of the darker features of it, but primarily just their houses, their vehicles, how the factory worked reminded like very Edward Scissorhands to me. Just the way,
Yeah,
like
I could see that.
the dollhouse,
Like in yes.
So the whole thing was styled after the artist Rene Magritte, like that sort of surrealist,
Coach McGurk.
especially
Coach McGurk.
especially with the bowler hat
Brendan.
thing. the Robin Williams wearing the bowler hat was a shout out to the Magritte. There's a famous painting of a guy wearing a bowler hat with a green apple right in front of his face.
Okay.
And the whole thing was styled in that way, and also in the style of Windows XP desktop wallpaper.
That's the first thing Henry said. He was like, "Are you?" Because he came in like in the middle. And
Every
he's like,
outside shot was
"You
a
guys
Windows
watching
XP desktop.
Windows the movie.
Windows XP the movie.
Ding, 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 ding.
I've decided that I don't hate it as much as I did then.
Same. Girl,
And
same.
I was able to pick up on a lot more of the subtleties in that movie that were. Here's the problem. First of all, I've given this a lot of thought, and I don't dislike Robin Williams as much as I thought I did.
Okay.
I dislike the choices he made for some of the movies he was in. And I feel like this was one of those. And the reason being is because the sets, it was like they were trying to come up with something that was like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but they couldn't quite, they couldn't
capture the magic.
And it seemed too surreal. The music was terrible. Like all of the music, like the score.
Really? You didn't like the score?
Drove me fucking crazy.
I liked the score. It's a Hans Zimmer joint.
Was it? See, I didn't. I generally don't have a problem with Hans Zimmer.
I love Hans Zimmer.
But the score of that movie and the music.
Now, the music I hated.
Was the Christmas music at the beginning. Yeah. One of the things that pisses me off more than anything is when they write a new Christmas song.
Sure.
And I hate that.
And
that's like a stupid. You have to like it because it's a Christmas song.
And the fucking
song.
happy worker like that.
That
shit
is
was
the
like,
shit.
Because I was like, that's fucked.
That's where I get the. That's where I get the Willy Wonka.
Day? Yeah.
That's where I get the Willy Wonka vibe. That these are the Oompa Loompas, and here's all the robot head spitting out the ball on his long tongue. Oh, he's got a clock for a nose. Crazy.
I mean, but does that,
it's too much.
Does that just lend to how fucking of a fucked up mastermind that Leslie's dad is?
Right.
That he's manipulating everybody at every point of this movie.
I think there is
it being indoctrinated.
Yeah, I think there's something about it there that maybe goes a little deeper than they intended, but that's how I see it. And so the music was too loud, number one. A lot of I actually turned the subtitles on for this movie.
Same.
And discovered how much how easy it would be to miss some of Robin Williams' best shit, because they're all the way down this long hallway. They're not mic'd properly, and the fucking background music is cranked up, and it's not a good time. And and I think what happened for me was, this movie actually brought me to a different part of my feelings for Robin Williams, which is in this movie particularly, the loud costumes, the overblown sets, the loud music, all that thing, that he was competing with that to be the center of attention.
He's so subdued.
He is subdued, and you can't hear what he's saying. And this is not what Robin Williams should be doing. Robin Williams needs to be the star of the fucking show. He needs to be the Mrs. Doubtfire. He needs to be making the jokes every 5 minutes, and it needs to come rapid fire from him to be. He's
my least favorite part of this movie.
And it's not because of him, because his shit is on point. It's just overshadowed by everything else. And I think like some of the stuff he says was typical classic Robin Williams riffing that you just couldn't hardly hear, or it didn't go on long enough, or whatever.
George Carlin's not going to hit the same if he's telling jokes at the same time ZZ Top is playing really loud.
Exactly.
Velcro Fly.
Velcro Fly, particularly. It's a backbeat from a song I know. Oh, it's Velcro Fly.
The best Robin Williams bit in the movie, in my opinion, was when he was had Mother Teresa as a hand puppet and was feeding her
Oh
soup.
God! Yes,
I was
100%. I'm in
on
agreement.
I was on
Give me
my
some soup.
treadmill.
Fuck yes! Fuck yes!
I was on my treadmill when that came on. I fell off it. Like
That's the
I
best part.
stumbled. I was laughing so
Just
fucking
so like the scene opens with it. That's what's the best part. It's just like apropos of nothing. It's like
I don't know. Give me some soup.
he starts
That
putting
was-
the spoon in his hand. Yeah, it was like Robin was like, "I'm gonna save the movie."
God, that it is the funniest fucking
But the
thing in the whole
unsung
movie. Right.
hero of this movie, who
LL
I thought
Cool J?
was absolutely hilarious.
Oh, my
LL
God.
Cool J.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
Ladies love Cool James.
Ladies love Cool James. I
He had so
love
many,
him in this movie.
and when seeing bits
Yeah.
and pieces
His
when I
hat
was little,
was
it didn't
not
land.
like a shark's fin in this movie.
It was not like a sea swine.
It was not like a sea swine. My hat is like a sea swine. It works. No, he was so good in this. Absolutely.
Yeah, he
But
was.
I also, when I was a kid, did not get to the part. Like, I didn't get to the LL Cool J part
Right.
because I was out before then.
Yeah.
But like, I can imagine like not liking him in this movie back in the day.
Sure.
But like watching it now as an adult, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like he's so funny in this movie,
Oh,
and
he
he's
is.
hilarious because he is playing it all straight.
Well, and he has the most development of anyone in the whole movie. The best character arc in the whole movie
Yeah.
is his.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
as
He
much a
has
movie about
development.
him as it is about, it's more about his character to me than anyone else's.
Because so the whole crux of the movie. So
Yes.
Plot.
So Zevo Toys, huge $1 million toy company. The owner, the president, is dying. He says his son is not ready to take it over. He gives it to his super militant, direct opposite of him,
3-star general
warmongering,
brother.
3-star
General
general. You're right,
brother.
brother.
with a British accent.
All he gives it to Dumbledore.
How dare you? Yes. Dumbledore 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo.
He gives it to hotly contested acting choices, Dumbledore, who then rolls
Damn
in.
this British accent.
takes
How could you
over.
have sent me to be raised in England?
I've tried to change.
Like, yeah, that we need that explanation.
Right. Well, actually,
That
we
was-
kind
that
of.
was
I mean,
funny.
it's one of those.
I don't hear accent anymore.
Really? It was one of those to me where it was like, okay, they definitely. I feel like they wanted him to have a British accent because it was almost like it felt like a decision where they're like, well, I mean, we don't want to like totally defile the U.S. military, you know,
Right.
like so we got to like British them up a
Well,
little
and
bit.
it's
What will it
always
take for you
good
to
to
be
have
in
a,
this, Michael Gambon? I'm not doing a fucking accent. Okay. Okay, fine.
So,
So yeah,
anyway.
he rolls in, takes over, everything goes to shit.
He
And Robin
wants-
Williams has to fix it.
He wants to start developing war toys that create war and video games that where
He wants to Ender's
kids
Game
pilot
it.
drones that kill real people.
the last
Straight-
Starfighter.
yeah. Well, see, that's what I thought. Ender's Game straight rips off.
Yeah,
Ender's
absolutely.
Game.
It does. It's Ender's Game. It's Last Starfighter. It's that vision of recruitment of pilots type of thing when they don't know they're being recruited. That was also the plot of the other book by the guy that wrote Armada. It was called Armada. It was the guy that wrote Ernest Cline,
yeah.
Ready Player One. Same kind of deal. Also, they envisioned remote piloted drones for the military and VR goggles.
$5,000 a piece.
The
not
Apple.
$5 million.
The what the woozy helmet is
The
that what it's
woozy,
called?
the woozy,
It's woozy
Yeah.
something.
woozy helmet. I think you're right, but the Apple Vision
Slow
Pro.
down, baby. Ring my helmet woozy.
So Hollywood is 20 years ahead. So anything you're seeing now in Hollywood is probably going to be real in 20 years.
Still waiting for that hoverboard.
That
true.
should.
Mattel, get your shit together.
Yeah.
They probably already have it, but they're just using it for the U.S. military, and we don't know about it yet. Think about it. So anyway, continue. So he's developing. He takes over the factory, and he's now manufacturing weapons of war.
Yep.
And,
And slowly hedging out, taking over more and more of the factory. Which, here's the thing. So, Leslie, Robin Williams' character's dad, he's not ready. He can't do this. What is he not fucking doing? He's going to all the meetings.
Oh, God.
He's developing.
I know.
He's taking it seriously. Like the pitch to this, the reason. That's why I think there must be something else behind it, because like Leslie was fine.
Yeah, he was working
nothing
hard.
wrong. Yeah,
he was testing stuff.
He was passionate.
Yeah,
he was making new things. He was doing quality. Like he was doing all the things he was supposed to do.
Why not give it to him? That seems like kind of a.
Like I feel like it was almost to try to murder his brother instead of trick Leslie.
Maybe.
Because then, okay, so the big spoiler is Leslie has a sister, Astasia.
Yeah, Joan Cusack. Who I'm also in love with, just in case you're listening, Joan.
Oh, and Robin Wright, like I didn't recognize her.
Dude, she
was so fucking adorable.
Yeah.
Listen, she was beautiful, adorable, and fucking funny.
Mm-hmm.
She plays off in this movie. Robin Wright plays off of Robin Williams, as well as Drew Barrymore and Adam Sandler play off of one another in their movies. I thought their chemistry in this movie, it was a little more subdued, but it was really good.
Well, I'd love to see outtakes from this movie, because there are moments where I know that Robin Williams likes to improv.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to get laid.
You're right. Which, man, I did not like that.
Melissa went, oh, good.
Yeah, I did not like
Yeah.
that. It was one of those where it's like, I'm glad Henry's not in the room.
It's out of
'cause
place.
That was some creepy shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so Robin Wright is 27 in this movie.
Okay.
Robin Williams is 42.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I would love to see some outtakes, because there are moments in the movie where it was like I'm watching an episode of SNL where it's like, is Robin Wright gonna break? Because it looks like she's like, like
Yeah,
her
at
laugh,
any moment.
like her, it
Seems
felt very genuine.
Joan Cusack had a few of those as well.
Yeah.
And she's
Jamie Foxx
Yeah.
piloting the robot in the trench coat with the hat.
Theatrical debut of
Yes.
Jamie Foxx.
Watching them have
Dude,
sex.
that fucking part was another where it's like Henry had just left the room. Oh, no, my bad. He left the room in the middle of the scene. Thank God, because we were all very uncomfortable, because like that came on and I was like, the scene is the Robins are about to have sex.
Man, why did it not even occur to me?
They're both named Robin. Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie. It's gross.
It is.
I was gross.
That scene was
out.
actually cut out of the UK version
Really?
of the movie to keep it from being a PG.
What, she leaves him to the
It's
bed?
PG-13
It's really awkward.
here.
It is not. There's nothing about it as sexy. And the way that like
It's unnecessary.
it is unnecessary, and it feels so fucking awkward, because this all happens like right after like Robin Williams is almost murdered by his uncle.
Yep.
And it's a situation where it feels like a pity fuck.
Yeah,
It
it
really
does.
it
Oh,
feels
your uncle killed you? You want some pussy?
because he's like, I really don't want to be alone tonight. And it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, I don't know, man. Look,
in
it
this
just felt weird.
in this type of movie, I would have
Yeah.
expected the implication, and then have them sitting in front of the fire drinking cocoa and
Yeah.
making jokes.
Just have the robot
Innocent,
and
fun.
Jamie Foxx reacting to what he sees through the robot's eyes.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, nothing else.
And that makes it weirder is Jamie Foxx's character, the guys in the surveillance van that are spying on the Robins having sex with a toy spy robot. They're getting
Loud as
off on
fuck.
it. They're like,
Yeah.
Nikki was like, how the fuck? Like, how did they not know all these
big.
toys are spies?
It's like a foot tall.
If you live and work in this factory, maybe you're just
Maybe.
used to
You
shit
do it
like
all
that.
around.
You just
Oh,
tune
that's
it
the
out.
robot that watches people have sex. This is normal.
Wait, that's not my sex watching robot.
Well, then all the spy elephants, like everything
I
has
know.
cameras.
I know.
everywhere.
It's fucking weird. It's like Sliver, but like and Parker
God.
Brothers.
That makes me think if they're used to it, it was there before the military guy was the villain. So Leslie's dad is the one who put all that there in the first place.
Makes sense. But man,
He's the real villain.
You've got a real problem with the dad.
I do.
The dead
I
dad.
think it's
I can
all
tell.
yeah.
but the guys in the van spying on them makes that fucking uncomfortable sex scene. It takes it from like an 8 to like a fucking 12.
Yeah.
Like Henry noped out. Like it was funny because we're obviously all uncomfortable that this is happening. And Henry, like, he's sitting on the couch next to me and he's got a blanket in his lap. He turns to the back of the couch and puts the blanket over his head and lays down. And I'm like, that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
Let's all do that.
I wish I'd have thought of that first. This is not how I want to have a sex conversation.
It's remarkably
when a
inappropriate.
42-year-old man goes through a traumatic experience.
If there happens to be a 27-year-old woman nearby. So, yeah.
When the robot gets caught in her bra and is flung out the window,
That part's funny.
and no one, and they don't mention it. They
Nope.
like there's something broke through the window.
Yeah, yeah.
So that happened. Then they get together.
It's so bad.
LL Cool J decides he's not having it. He doesn't like what his dad's
Master
doing.
of camouflage.
He decides to team up with Leslie and the team to take back the factory.
He's like LL Cool J is like Martin Mull and Arrested Development.
Gene Parmesan.
Gene Parmesan. Oh my god! And he's great. Like LL Cool J is great with it too because it's like they'll be in a red room and he's just like wearing like a red onesie and he'll like,
It turns
turn
around.
It's great. And he plays it straight.
He does.
And there's a scene. I love the scene in the bathroom where like you get a shot of like the bathroom stalls.
yes.
And you see two like pairs of feet. And then he gets a call and you hear him talking, and then when the conversation's over, the empty cell opens and you see him put his feet down on the floor and he goes to the stall. It's got the fake legs, and wraps them up. That's great. I love it.
So good.
But he makes his dad stop and he jumps out of the car. You don't even know where you are. I know. He just disappears in the woods or the weeds.
It's
He's so fucking good in this movie.
This movie had a lot more going for it for me this time around, and I didn't hate it as much, but I still didn't care for it.
I still didn't like it. Yeah.
You know, there were some moments that I think if this exact same cast had done a different movie, I think it would have been a better movie. I just think it was overshadowed by the extreme visuals and the things that just took me out of it. And that opening scene, I started this last night. I switched over to it, and that opening scene with the Christmas play and the stupid music and the thing, and it went on for like 10 fucking minutes. I was about to say, nope, I'm going to actually go to the show tomorrow without having watched this if this doesn't stop soon.
Yeah.
Just a lot of bad choices, I think, for the overall production of the movie.
I think this movie came out on December 22nd, so I don't know if that had anything to do with it, or if it's just, Christmas being a toy-centric kind of holiday.
I think if they had gone darker with this and maybe cast John Cusack as Leslie, it might have worked a little bit better. If it had been less pretend, frivolous, kind of Willy Wonka-esque sort of thing. I could have seen a darker version of this movie with John Cusack as the lead.
A Leslie who's torn as opposed to just
someone
goofy.
who's just not, I don't know.
But the Mother Teresa's.
But without the mother, we would not have that if it weren't for the
And the
current thing. So.
Tone of the movie, I feel like, is kind of all over the place.
It really is.
Because it's like there are parts in it where it's like, I don't know if this is supposed to be like, are they trying to do a funny part, or is this like a serious part? It's hard to tell. And it's like, it's hard to tell in a way where I feel like it's an accident and not done on purpose. And a lot of it felt to me, like I told Nikki, I was like, this is like a proto Wes Anderson movie.
It really is.
Because it's like,
absolutely.
It's
Maybe
like,
instead of Tim Burton, that's the nail I need to hit is Wes Anderson.
I think that's probably right.
Because it has like these weird like things and bits in it, and like all the surrealism. Like I like the sets a lot. I know like that's probably like a polarizing thing.
So Bill Murray should have been the villain. I hear you.
Fuck.
I could have
Bill
seen
Murray
that.
in this movie.
I could have seen that.
Scarlett Johansson in this movie.
Ooh. I mean, they still
Toys
have
too.
They still have the weird age dynamic, so that
got that going, right?
Got that going for them. But I want to say Scarlett Johansson might have been like 15 in 1992. I don't think she's
maybe younger.
But
we're talking about toys too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, man, I liked it better than I thought I was going to. I did fall asleep twice trying to watch it.
Easy to do.
So that's a pass for me, dog.
Yeah. I've got a little trivia, then we can move on to the game talk if you want. So the scene in the movie where Robin Williams' character, Leslie Zevo, is addressing the wind-up toys, and he gives the speech to the wind-up toys. It's
the good toys.
That's ad-libbed, the whole thing. And apparently not Zemeckis. The director's Barry Levinson, who directed Good Morning Vietnam, also with Robin Williams. And there was one other that he did. It wasn't a Robin Williams joint, but it was Rain Man. He directed Rain Man as well.
Weird, right?
Apparently left the cameras rolling all the time. Again, I feel like that's one of the other things that happened with Robin Williams is that he always had to be on fucking point. And they left the cameras running so they could catch these ad-lib moments and exploit every moment that he was in someone else's presence because he might say something funny. So, and I thought that speech was fine, but it wasn't nearly as funny as some of the other shit that he said throughout the movie.
No.
Go ahead.
Well, you might be about to mention this. I'm not sure. Do you know about the competing films? Like what film was competing against toys?
It was Aladdin, wasn't it?
It was Aladdin. Aladdin came out 3 weeks prior.
Yeah, and there's I do have notes about it.
Yeah, good. Because there's a whole thing.
So I'll just read what came from the Wikipedia article that I pulled some of this from. No, this actually came from IMDb. Released about a month after the release of Aladdin, in which Robin Williams voiced the genie. And because of this, Williams asked Disney to keep his name out of the marketing for Aladdin.
Right.
And for the genie to not take up more than 25% of the movie's ad space. Disney ended up going back on the deal on both counts and resulted in a falling out between Williams and Disney.
And one of the big reasons, there are a few reasons.
What I was going to ask you was, what does that have to do with this?
Toys was a pet project for Robin Williams.
Okay.
Because he was friends with Barry Levinson.
Okay.
So
he wanted more. He wanted the Robin Williams sort of moniker
give the Williams bump.
Give
to
that to toys, not to Aladdin.
Aladdin's gonna do.
He didn't want Aladdin to swallow toys, which it absolutely did.
In every
but
way, it
probably
swallowed
would
it
have anyway because it's
spit it out.
Yeah,
Swallowed it again, shit it out, turned it into compost.
Yeah.
Grew some fruit. Ate the fruit.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, it wasn't just that. Robin Williams also didn't want, he didn't want to be used as a marketing tool. So it was kind of those two things together that really kind of set him sour on Disney.
I don't know if you caught this. This was not in my trivia, so it kind of is. Okay, so the other thing I was going to say, Robin Williams said that dyeing his hair orange and the costume he wore made him feel like the Sixth Doctor from Doctor Who in 1963, which means that's once again something I do have in common with Robin Williams is a love for Doctor Who, that and Zelda, because
right.
So I noticed something funny in the beginning of the movie when General Zevo goes to see his dad in the hospital. Daddy.
Oh,
and
man.
His daddy is Jack
Another
Warden.
setup.
Yeah, his daddy is Jack Warden. And they make the joke about how Jack Warden mumbles. He's like old and he can't hurry. He mumbles and he can't hear what he's saying. And he holds up 3 fingers to imply that, ha ha ha, you're a 3-star general and I'm a 4-star general. And he's like, yes, Daddy, you always remind me that you're, some of the dialogue there in that movie, by him particularly.
The dialogue is bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's so bad.
It's poorly written.
But in this, he was lamenting that the world isn't at war anymore and that people like him are no longer needed and yada yada yada. And he goes on about how in the Korean War, he was in charge of a group of soldiers, and one of his soldiers almost fragged him. Now that's a term it hasn't used in I haven't heard in a long time. Since Quake. He says, one of my soldiers almost fragged me. And so it cuts to Jack Warden, and Jack Warden starts going, and he goes, big cock.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
I know.
And
right?
I would not have caught that, but I had the subtitles on, and it said on the screen, big cock.
What, 15 minutes into the movie?
Yeah. I was like, okay, that's...
It didn't offend me, but it surprised me.
The movie got a PG-13 rating, and it was a PG-13 movie, but this didn't need to be a PG-13 movie. And I think with what they did with it, it should have been a little tamer.
I agree.
I think that the children watching this movie might have been a bit traumatized by several things, including this and the thing you talked about with the sex scene that didn't need to be there.
Doesn't need to be in there.
It's time. And the movie's 2 hours long, so if you cut that shit out, you're going to have a reasonably long movie.
Right. But man,
without the shit in it.
It's fucking weird because it's like I feel like they either needed to go... They need to pick a lane and go hard in that lane because a lot of the movie is whimsical. Yeah. And it's like, I understand if you want to make a movie that's whimsical, but also like tawdry.
Yeah.
Or, but like if you're going to do that,
just do it.
Don't give too little, don't do too little things. Just do it.
Yeah. So get it done.
The audience is like, okay.
Now we know what to expect.
We know what you're shooting for.
Yeah.
But don't just dry hump. Fuck.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rated X. Toys starring Robin Williams and Robin Wright.
Well, that's why I feel like the general who everyone goes, isn't he dead? So then he goes up, and I guess his brother had constructed a AI type robot just like Leslie's sister is, but of their father to manipulate.
I thought you were going to say the
brother.
nurse, a.k.a. the mean lady in Beethoven second.
Debbie Mazar, who fucks both the dad and LL Cool J.
And somehow confuses LL Cool J for the 3-star general, which is absolutely insane because there's a part in that movie where he's wearing a tight white t-shirt and it's like, I don't know, man.
No, probably not. Debbie Mazar's on my list as well.
I do love Debbie Mazar.
She's okay.
Yeah,
she's talented.
I think she's cute.
Yeah,
but
she's talented.
I mean more. She always plays a good bitch.
But
she's an excellent bitch.
She is, but it's also kind of one of those where it's like, okay. She's on the screen. I know it. I know what role she's going to play.
Yeah, that's
true.
She's,
what I mean?
She's very typecast.
It's
100%. Yeah,
it's like a Michael Cera kind of thing. Like, I know what to expect.
Okay,
but all in all, you know, again, my experience was different just because I was with Melissa, who I tried very hard to get her to come out, and she wouldn't. She's too bashful.
Okay. It's all right.
So get real.
Yeah.
Did I? Tyler Holland of Sound, Mind, and Body. Did I like this movie more than I like Top Gun? No, of course not.
Right.
Thank God. Holy shit.
I was really worried.
Is it super, super close? Again, no. Is it medium close? It's medium close. I appreciated some things about this movie and some of these jokes. And whenever Top Gun, I didn't like Top Gun to the last 20 minutes.
I get that, and I'm with you on that. I am not going to go ugh every time I hear about it. Now I do have a fresher appreciation for it. Although I do think on the grand scale it failed, and I'm not alone in thinking that. It was a $50 million movie that grossed $23 million worldwide.
But had Aladdin not come out, damn it!
It's Aladdin's fault. Because this was just as good as Aladdin.
If not better.
But it was okay. It was fine. I don't know that I'll watch it again, but I do have a
fine
different
is a good way to describe
appreciation
it. It's
with
fine.
it. Yeah.
It's fine. If you watch it as an adult, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
I would never recommend this movie to another human.
No, I wouldn't recommend
I
it
would
either.
If
not-
someone asked me, what's like a fine movie I could watch tonight? You can watch Toys, I guess.
I'll tell you.
What's a like a mediocre-ish experience? Toys.
Nope. I sure would.
No, he was talking about himself.
Robin Williams.
Oh, my bad. I thought you were talking about me. No.
2 stars. Wisdom Sage says check it out. Or don't. I don't care. You should form your own opinion.
Or don't.
Or don't. We've covered it as thoroughly as it can be covered by humans.
As much as anybody else has.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know, man. I don't know what clips exist of Toys online, but that's probably like the best way to watch this movie is like just watch the best parts because the little bits because the plot sucks.
Yeah.
The plot fucking sucks. And it's like you were talking about, LL Cool J's character has the best arc. And that is sparked by, what's her name? I'm sorry, the actress's name. The place she plays a great bitch.
Debbie Mazar.
Debbie
Mazar. That's sparked by Debbie Mazar mistakenly calling him by his father's name while they're about to have sex. And it's like, here's the thing that bothers me.
Did you say my dad? He was sad.
Right.
Yeah, she just brushes it off and then sits down, files her nails.
Yeah.
LL Cool J's character is not like, I need to talk to my dad about this. He is like, all right, I'm killing my father.
Like you do.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
My mom died of appendicitis. No, he didn't. He killed her. Yeah.
She was a Jane Fonda lookalike.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not for me. Nikki, I was in a similar situation where Nikki had seen it before. Her grandmother had it on VHS and she had watched it. I wouldn't say she doesn't have a great appreciation for it like Melissa does, but she was coming from
It just Melissa watched it as a kid.
Yeah. So
That she loved, like Melissa, her favorite part of the movie is the paper doll scene at the very beginning whenever Joan Cusack is trying on the paper doll.
Oh, yeah.
outfits and all the outfits she wears. Like she loves her throughout that whole
I
movie.
thought besides LL Cool J, Joan Cusack's character was probably my favorite.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I thought she was great in it, and she played that role really well.
Mm-hmm.
The pink hair thing, I want that.
Yeah.
The pink
And I feel
hair
like
helmet.
the sort of
helmet.
teaser was the general when he like shuts down and lays back down. Whenever Leslie puts her to bed, he puts her to bed the exact same way he puts the swan domes and she deactivates. So the game. So on the other hand, where I thought the movie was fine, I do not feel the same way about the game. I was
Me neither.
very confused.
Me too.
Until I watched a playthrough and then just like, oh, because all I ever got were ducks. That's all I ever got in this goddamn game. Was ducks.
I got the bowling balls. I got most of the weapons once I figured out how you get them. So this is an isometric overhead game.
Walker.
Yeah, you walk through the factory. You're being attacked by the different warlike toys, and you have to defeat them and then find all the cameras in the factory and deactivate the cameras by shooting water at them.
You do the exact same thing 4 times.
Yeah, pretty much. And then there's a final level where you're hanging from an airplane, flying over a model Manhattan, like at the end of the movie, except it goes on a lot longer.
Holy shit. Holy shit. But like, so the game opens and the smoking elephant gives the exposition for the whole movie. And then the gameplay, I guess, is the last 20 minutes of the movie, which is kind of strange.
Yeah.
I can't imagine them doing anything else. Like what other part of the movie?
Yeah.
You
Right,
know, like unless
yeah.
you're the spy bot, like trying to like catch a titty or something.
Dressing up dolls.
I don't know. But yeah, the movie, and that's the thing, like the movie doesn't really even kick off until like, the last 20 minutes. So this game, like Ian said, is a top-down isometric shooter. It's a lot like Zombies Ate My Neighbors in regards where not only the gameplay, but also you're playing a character that collects a bunch of weird weapons and then uses those weapons on wacky enemies. It's not as good of a game as Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
No.
I don't think, in my opinion, but
I think in most people's opinion.
but I think it's fair to say that a comparison can be drawn between those two games. I feel like
Sure.
on the system, on the Super Nintendo, Zombies Ate My Neighbors is probably the closest approximation. As
I could see
toys.
that. Yeah.
In the moments in Demolition Man, in the overhead
Right.
segments in
When
Demolition
you're going,
Man.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's not. While in Demolition Man, it's not whimsical and wacky. This very much is.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the charm of Toys, the video game, is discovering what weapons you have at your disposal. Tyler, you mentioned the duck. There's a wind-up duck.
Got a bowling ball.
which is
bowling
pretty
ball, Ian,
ineffective.
you mentioned.
I think
An
the bowling
elephant
ball
peanut
is like
gun.
the weapon you want to get.
Yeah, that or the
bowling
race
to
car.
do anything.
the race car.
The
is
race
good.
car's good because it sort of goes in a random pattern, which is nice because the enemies kind of approach you in random patterns that are hard to like target.
Yeah.
So you want to introduce. I found it was easiest just as if possible, introduce as much chaos into that as you can. So the law of averages says you're going to hit them eventually, but it was hard to time. It was hard to plan.
And it's hard to. It's also a lot of the enemies are quick, and this is a 4:3 aspect ratio. So I often had the problem where, like a wind-up bomb, or
It would be off screen
it'd be
or
off
something.
screen,
Yeah.
and then it's moving towards me. I'm moving towards it, and it's like, oh, I'm hit.
Yeah, you don't have any
time to
warning
react.
that they're there ahead of time. Yeah, I think a little radar would have been nice.
Or
of
if it
some
was zoomed
kind.
out a little
or
bit
zoomed
more.
out, maybe make the pixels
Because
smaller.
It is like you are way too tight on. I guess they didn't get the image rights to Robin Williams and LL Cool J. They
Right.
just got
No, I don't think they got the rights. Yeah.
because you are in the cutscenes. They're just either they're not present or they're just sort of muddy clay
It
face
shows
looking
like
blank
shadows, shadows in front of a door
Yeah,
or something.
It's really
yeah.
bad. And even Leslie, who doesn't even look like Leslie, he's not wearing his toy. What you would think if I designed it, what I would have put him in.
Big
It's the
red hat.
everything. No, he looks like Tim Curry in Clue.
Yeah, he does.
And he's kind of
He
hunched
does.
over and his knees are bent a little bit and he's just hobbling around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very strange.
Yeah, it was weird. The hat being not present.
Yeah.
Is the
It's on the
strangest
cover
part
of the
to me.
game.
Yeah, it's strange to me that they didn't put a bowler hat on the character you play in the game because that's like kind of iconic. That's the
Yep.
first thing you think of when you hear the movie Toys. You think Robin Williams in a bowler hat
Against a blue sky.
against the blue sky.
Yep. The
Windows
box art.
XP. Yeah, the box art exactly. And yeah, it was a weird choice to do that.
Yep.
It makes me wonder if somebody forgot to make the call,
Yeah, I don't think they got the rights to that. Is
Yeah.
what I think happened.
So it's,
And
it's weird.
which is really weird to me
If
because
you're gonna make a game from the movie, why would you?
we're promoting it, right? You'd think you'd want to have as many elements as possible, but
Yeah.
there we have it.
The game came out in 1993. It was published by Absolute Entertainment. And they have done some games that you might have heard of,
Yeah.
such as Casper. They did Casper. They did the Ren and Stimpy show, Buckaroos. Horrible, awful game. Terrible game.
Oh yeah, okay.
In my opinion, yes. They did Home Improvement, Power Tool Pursuit. They did Star Trek Generations, Beyond the Nexus.
Holy
Ooh.
fuck!
Have y'all played
they're
that one?
LJN for the SNES.
They're more LJN for the SNES
Yeah,
than
than LJN is. Yeah.
They did Super Battle Tank 2, Geoparty, Geoparty Sports Edition, Wheel of Fortune, Star Trek The Next Generation, The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, Family Dog,
Holy fuck!
Goofy's Hysterical History Tour. That's a Genesis one.
I'm about to say I haven't heard of that one.
I hadn't either.
Okay. Is that Mario's Time Machine but with Goofy?
Fuck, I hope so. They did Jeopardy Deluxe Edition.
Okay.
And the I'm sure great Space Ace conversion on SNES.
I mean, what the other one worked out so well?
Dragon's Lair.
Dragon's Lair.
Yeah.
So good.
This is the studio that was founded by David Crane of A Boy and His Blob fame.
Yeah.
Which explains why the credits are at the beginning of the game. Because you know how
David Crane do.
the Atari folks who got fucked by Atari, or they're like, want everybody to know who made the game.
That's their trauma response.
Exactly. And I get it. But it is funny.
Yeah.
It is not the trauma, the response is funny.
Both are funny.
And then Gary Kitchen, of course. Super Battle
Gary
Tank.
Kitchen,
and
yeah.
Gary Kitchen. So,
Which I think, I don't know. I think you're right, Dave. It's like, how would you do a toys game? But yeah, because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. Like, I would have had to have the instruction manual to know what the fuck that I could cycle through and pick different weapons, because I'm getting presents, but it feels like I'm just getting more ducks, and the ducks are just a distraction. So when I approach the cameras, okay, this looks like an area I need to do something at, I get waxed immediately because I can't defend myself against the tanks and everything that's just shooting at you. I end up running around to every corner. So I got all these power-ups and health restores. I had no clue what the fuck to do.
So, in the game's defense, I feel like they tell you what to do in the cutscene leading into the level, because LL Cool J's character says, "I'm going to leave you presents. The ones you find on the conveyor belts will give you different items, and the ones I leave on the floor will replenish those items." Because that's the only way that I knew.
Okay.
And I mean, it didn't make the gameplay any better. I mean, it was just still one of those where it's like, it became a game for me of like, figure out which weapons are worthless, because it's like 80% of them are. The bowling ball's good, like you said. Race car's good. And then what happens is, and I feel like this needs to happen. It took me about an hour to finish the first stage. And then the second stage is the same gameplay, but instead of being in like the factory, it's in the cafeteria, and the weapons change.
The weapons change and the enemies change.
Right.
Which is a good thing.
It's a good thing.
I mean,
it needs to happen.
At least that's the only like variation on the theme that there is. It's like Tyler said, it's the same
basic
gameplay
core mechanics
all throughout the entire game, which is fine. But if it were good gameplay, but it's not, and it's really repetitive. But at least they mix it up and give you different sprites to look at.
I'm looking through the long play that I watched because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing, and it was just like, oh my god.
Yeah,
oh
this
my
is
god!
all.
This is all.
You get four levels of the same kind of thing over and over and over and over, and then you get to the end game.
Yeah.
Which I didn't get to. I didn't know it was a side.
Well, it's sort of a. It's not. I don't want to call it like a side-scrolling platformer, because it's not. You're hanging from the plane, flying over.
It's a side-scrolling, like
you're flying over Model Manhattan, and you're hanging from the plane, and it is a side-scrolling view. But all you have to do is just like dodge the incoming helicopters and planes, and then the plane loses its energy as you go farther. And then you have to like fly down and fly through this like electric coil to power the plane back up.
This is very different than the.
It is completely different than the core gameplay, and it just goes on and on and on. You have no weapon, and like you have to just. What's fucked up is like I watched this in the long play as well, and what happens is you want to be concerned with where the plane is, but not necessarily where you are. So you're hanging from the plane, but you won't get hurt.
You have no hitbox.
If the plane, you have no hitbox. So if you maneuver the plane between two helicopters, but your body crosses in front of that helicopter, it doesn't hurt you.
I hate it when games do that, where you have to like figure out where
and it looked impossible.
Very, very narrow, and it is like the scene in the movie is like a minute,
and it's a long minute.
Is way.
That's a scene from the movie.
So when he's in the airplane and he crashes into the war room at the end, you don't have
fallen asleep.
You must have. So ultimately, you remember the plane that Santa Claus was in at the beginning?
I do.
Okay, Robin Williams gets to that, and then it flies into the war room.
Oh, okay. I was definitely asleep.
Crashes into the war room, and that's how they defeat Well, and then Zevo gets cornered.
I was
by
awake. I was awake for this. For the
you
that,
missed
the sea swine.
that one scene, but that's what the whole end game is based on.
Okay.
And after you finally get through it, it crashes into the war room, and it's
That's it.
congratulations.
He's
game
standing
over.
over his dead body.
Here's how many points you get. Play
Yeah.
again.
So that's
Please.
fucked up. There's a thing that I like about the game. I think that they did a good job with the dialogue because there are parts in the game where it's like, I thought was funny, where it's like, if you try again, the dialogue changes.
Oh, okay.
Where it's like LL Cool J's character is like, okay, well, that didn't work. We should try that again. And it's like,
That's cool.
And then if you try it again, it changes again. And it's like, I didn't get to a point where the dialogue repeated. And I died a bunch.
That's nice.
So I thought that was cool.
Once again, LL Cool J's character being the best part of this franchise.
And then also there's parts where like the general is like typing commands on a computer.
yeah.
And they sneak little things in where he's like, when you're in the cafeteria, he types out mess hall and then backspaces and types cafeteria. So it's stuff like that where it's like these little attentions to detail that in the dialogue, in the writing particularly, that I thought was nice.
Yeah.
It is a shame that I don't feel like the gameplay really kind of is as good as that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, this doesn't fix what's wrong with the game.
It doesn't.
And
It
it's
doesn't.
not a recommend from me.
But it's a few, it's just a noticeable thing in its favor. But yeah, it's still, ooh.
And then the other part where there's a different game mode, you guys touched on, you have to destroy the security cameras. And that's when you get to a security camera, the gameplay changes from a top-down isometric view to it's now a first-person carnival shooter.
Right.
Where you play the game at the carnival where you shoot water into the clown's mouth.
Except it's an elephant.
Except it's an elephant.
With a camera in its mouth.
Right.
And you've got to, if you spray the elephant in the eyes, it stops, it moves around. The elephant moves around, it's hard to hit. If you hit it in the eyes, it stops moving, and then you can spray the camera longer.
Right.
And you just got to keep doing that until you either run out of water and fail or succeed.
And you have to do that a bunch of times.
And you have to do it a bunch.
At each camera.
At each
And
camera,
there's about
and
8
there's
cameras.
8 per
Yeah.
level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just, and all the cameras are guarded by the same 3 tanks,
Yep.
at least in the first level. In the second
It's
level.
all, yeah.
Pretty much
throughout
the
the whole
same.
thing.
So it kind of got to the point where it's like the repetitive nature of this game is it's a killer.
It's the
It's a
downfall.
killer.
I mean, aside from the janky gameplay and everything else, I think I don't know what would have improved it, but that is definitely what's wrong, is the repetitive, kind of hard to play nature of this whole thing. And it doesn't get better. It doesn't get more interesting. It's just, it's blah from beginning to end. It's just not very exciting. It's not even bad enough to say I hated
sure
it
who
and it
it's for.
sucks. It's just, it's the most middle ground, gray milk toast vanilla thing ever. You know, it just didn't have any appeal to me. But not because it's bad or because it's good. It's because it just isn't anything. It's just kind of
yeah. I feel like it's a very
Forgettable.
mediocre game.
Forgettable is the best word I can come up with.
And Tyler, you had a good point where who is this game for?
I don't see kids enjoying it. I don't see adults enjoying it. I don't know.
Who like toys enough to buy the
buy the
game
Super Nintendo
on,
game?
You know, just the name
I mean,
alone.
Melissa and her
Yeah.
brother might have wanted to have it just for
That's
that.
true.
Because of that.
It was for Melissa and Josh.
Yeah. So it's very, very
dedicated.
rare. 2 copies were made. One for Melissa.
Spoilers for Flopsy.
Is it a buy, rent, or birthday?
None of
Or
the
a
above.
pass.
I would have passed on it. I would have never, because I didn't like the movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would have passed on it. But at
Yeah.
best, it's a rental.
Yeah.
What a weird fucking game or movie to license. What a weird one.
Yep.
To quote unquote license.
Right.
I mean,
A
to
year-
pseudo license.
A
Yeah.
year after the bomb. Like,
Yeah.
Right, and you knew by that
weird.
point that this movie had flopped. So let's just
They've
cancel
canceled
it.
games for less.
Yes, they have.
Or like,
better
yeah,
games
for real.
less.
Change. I mean, I guess you already paid for the rights, but like, change the name of the game
Yeah.
Yeah.
to not be associated with the bomb. I don't know.
Toy Story would have been a better name for this game.
That's a Super Nintendo game.
I know. I
This could have been easily Fester's Quest 2.
right. Yeah, reskin everything and make it Fester's Quest 2. I might have liked it. Why not?
Fester's Quest is a very interesting game.
Oh, I played it.
with an interesting history. And,
I
yeah,
played it
yeah.
a lot. A lot. This is one of the games I owned.
I rented it a bunch.
Yep.
So where you put it? Top 100? Bottom 100? Somewhere in the middle?
Square in the middle. I honestly don't want to give it I don't want to put it in there with memorably bad games. I just want it to, I do kind of want it to just sort of not come
Just
up.
be blah.
Just be forgotten and be blah. Yep.
Dave?
I didn't hate it. I wasn't like, when my hour was up, I was relieved. Where it was like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
The second level is a lot like the first level.
Yeah.
The first level is very repetitive.
Yeah.
I'm good to not continue doing this.
Yes.
But as a child, that wouldn't have bothered me as much because time was infinite and I needed to kill a bunch of it.
Yeah.
So my thoughts then would have been a little different. But yeah, middle of the road. Maybe at the bottom side of the middle more so than the
I'd
top
say like
side.
bottom
but
250 for me.
Yeah.
I don't think it's terrible. But
It's
also,
not the worst.
We played worse.
We
Yeah.
definitely played worse.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
Do you guys have any achievements?
I have a couple.
Go on.
My first achievement is Smash TV. And to get Smash TV, you pick up 20 presents from the factory floor. And my second and final achievement for today is Klaatu Barada Nikto.
It's one of mine.
And to get Klaatu Barada Nikto, you just beat the game. He says it in the movie. General
The general
Zemo
does.
says Klaatu Barada Nikto. I had a moment. I didn't remember that at all. And
Oh,
I had
really?
a moment and I was like, holy shit, that's cool. Instant achievement. So for those of you that don't know, it's from originally The Day the Earth Stood Still. That was the way to stop the giant robot. Those are the words you say to stop the giant robot. And more poignantly for me, it was from Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
They're the words that Ash speaks before he's supposed to speak before he picks up the Necronomicon.
I said the words.
I said the goddamn words. So I loved that they put that in there. I know it was a call out to, obviously, to The Day the Earth Stood Still, because
Right.
at the moment, General Zemo is trying to stop the robot monster from killing him, and he's hoping that does that. So I thought that was that was one of the better lines / references in that movie.
I agree.
So
And it's also
that was my achievement.
interesting that like Army of Darkness was 93.
Right. Just
So
right
it's
on
like
after that.
back to back kind of references, the same reference
Yep.
essentially.
Mhm.
I guess kind of the same reference.
Right.
The reference is more on the nose in toys, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
it
he's
is.
trying to stop.
He's
the
trying to
slide.
stop a giant
Right,
robot, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I liked that a lot.
Yeah,
and I
me
didn't
too.
mention it because I wanted it to be on my achievements
Yep.
list.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I've got it on mine as well.
Well-
same achievement.
you're up. Yeah.
My achievement is it's my duck in a box. In order to unlock it's my duck in a box, you pick up the wind up duck off the conveyor belt, which you carry in a box at your crotch, like they do in Dick in a Box. And then you let the duck loose. And then he does some worthless shit.
Yep.
It's the Hollow Duke of the game toys. It's a distraction.
Yep. Which would be neat, I guess.
If it worked.
If it worked,
Yeah,
right? Where
yeah.
it's like, oh, you can distract an enemy and still complete the level.
Right. Nope.
No, you got to destroy them. So that makes the shit where it's like, I did kill things with the
Yeah,
duck.
distract it so it runs off and you run up to the camera. Sure.
Sure,
Wonderful, perfect.
exactly. That's great use. That's some a boy and his blob shit right
Yep.
there. But yeah, where it's like, well, I can use the duck against the tanks, but it takes 2 ducks to kill a tank and 1 bowling ball.
Right.
That just shoots straight forward.
Well, you can bounce it off of things.
I know, and that's nice.
Which was
You're right.
nice. You could create
bank
like
it.
a gate of bouncy ball that anything that rolled through it was instantly vaporized. So that was one of the better weapons.
Bowling ball rocks.
Bowling ball does rock.
And that's it. That's all I got. Sorry.
What was your Klaatu Varata Nikto
To be
the game? The same exact achievement. Oh wow, nice, great minds.
Yeah, my first one is duck, 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 etc. Release 10 ducks. I got that
I was
10 times.
Can I tell you my dark achievement?
Say goose.
Yeah.
That no one's gonna like.
Tyler, say goose.
No.
Please.
No.
You're killing
Gotta
me.
hang there.
Oh my
You
god.
gotta take it.
Yes. Go ahead, Dave.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're not
I'll
gonna
live.
hate me for it?
No.
I love you more for it.
More. Yeah, we
Duck,
both will.
Duck, duck, noose. In order to unlock duck, 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 noose, intentionally die as Leslie.
That's good. That's good.
Nope. Don't hate you for it. That's good shit.
Those are also 2 enemies you can fight simultaneously in Earthbound.
Oh,
A duck and a noose.
holy shit!
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a subreddit called "I'm Finna Go to Hell."
Yeah.
That would fit in right there. Love it. They would love that there.
Oh yeah, he did kill himself. Okay.
Right.
Now I
That's
get it.
the
Now I
Yeah.
fully
see the
get
best
it.
jokes.
My other one, pissdrinkers.com. You piss in 4 elephants' mouths to deactivate the cameras.
It does come from like the bottom of the screen.
It does.
You know,
Yeah.
if it were
hydrated.
yellow, yeah, he is.
I got a drug test coming up, and I got to piss in some elephants' mouths.
And my last one is Good Time Gatsby,
Oh,
which there was I remember just core memory in middle school of a boy who was Melissa and her cousins, me and 2 of my friends, one being Josh Nance with TADPOG Sweethearts, and had lunch together. And one of the boys that Good Time Gatsby was dating had recently fingered her or something. Everybody knew about it. Nobody talked about it.
Nice.
And he runs over and he grabs one of Melissa's rolls. And it's like he puts his finger in it. And she goes, "Fuck it, gross. That finger was just in my cousin." She's been fingered more times than a bowling ball at this point. So always, core memory. I see a bowling ball. Good Time Gatsby. Use 10 bowling balls.
That's flattering.
it is. It is. That's a compliment of the highest order.
We're going to see what Flopsy has to say about it.
Sure. You guys got any guesses? What Flopsy thinks about the game's value and or rarity?
I'm gonna say. See, I feel like they probably tried to saturate the market with this thing to bump VHS sales / rentals of the movie. But I'm gonna go with 2 stars and uncommon. I'm torn between uncommon and very uncommon, but I'm gonna say 2 stars uncommon.
Okay.
See, I'm thinking they might have downplayed it because they knew they weren't going to sell any copies. So I'm going to also say 2 stars, very uncommon.
I don't know the answer, but I do know the price of the game. So that does kind of
Yeah.
color a lot of things.
Right.
But so it's absolute entertainment, and I feel like they probably didn't have a lot of money to distribute a lot of copies.
Yeah.
But the price of the game kind of counters that. So I don't know. It's one of those where it's like, I guess this is common. And I think that Flopsy was kind to it. My guess would be Flopsy probably gave it 3 stars because they're pretty kind to games.
They do tend to be
Yeah.
kind.
But according to Flopsy, a.k.a. the ultimate Nintendo Guide to the SNES Library, 1991 through 1998. 1998?
1998.
That's not that long ago,
That was
right?
like 10 years ago.
Yeah, 15 tops.
By Matt Contry, courtesy of Monster Ball Mike and a shadowy benefactor. Nope, not Blackthorn. Toys. Good Lord, I am surprised. Availability, common, 1.5 stars.
Wow.
Hey.
Possibly
1.5 stars.
possibly the lowest rated game we've encountered in Flopsy.
Man, all right.
Okay, well, we were the
What
generous
do they
ones
say
this
about it?
time.
Here you go. Look at this. This is the reviewer says, when I was a kid, I was excited to watch Toys, the film. Its trailer had a Tim Burton
1992
feel
film.
to it. It looked bright and colorful, but the story seemed to have a darker tone. The day the film was available on pay-per-view, I begged my dad to rent it. Been there. Girl, same, except for mom. Overall, we were both disappointed, but it had its memorable scenes. This is all about the movie. Unlike many movie
Oh, and the game
licensed games,
sucks.
this one tries to replicate some of the more notable parts of the film, such as the airplane and Manhattan scene. It just does so really poorly.
Okay. Fair enough.
Well, time is a predator that sneaks up on us all. And if we go back in the time machine and to the reviews that came out about this game,
Yes.
as provided to us by Brad from Arizona,
Time is a face on the water.
time is a face on the water. I will read to you a little bit of that. This is a review from, let's see here.
Could I ask you guys something real quick?
Yeah, while
Please.
I'm looking at this.
What is a fighting game for the Xbox One you would recommend?
I never owned an Xbox One, so I don't know. Soul Calibur? There's probably a Soul Calibur on there.
Probably.
Oh, an Xbox One.
Yeah.
Not the original Xbox.
Not the original.
Man.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Microsoft.
That's not. That suddenly became really confusing, didn't it?
Fuck you, Microsoft. Now I really don't have an answer.
More,
for
they've
you.
got some good Mortal Kombats for
Yeah.
that. Some of the good ones. I think you could get. I can't remember. Toys.
What do we look like? A video game? Two video game podcast hosts?
A rare text from Jorge Machian asking me.
Of Manhunter fame?
Manhunter
Yeah,
fame. That's
exactly.
right. I was on that episode too.
Yes, sir.
Before I became a host. So from Brad, what's up, y'all? Even at a time where my wife and I had virtually unlimited time and all the cable channels on TV and like to watch so bad it's a good movies, aka pre-child, I don't think we got more than 10 minutes into the movie Toys. Somehow, I doubt the game is much better. I had a little of the Berenstain Bears effect because I could have sworn this game was from THQ. This review from Billy R. Moon from issue 50 of Game Players magazine. This got the same score as Cybernator and Bomberman 2 in the same issue.
Wow.
I'm not going to say either of those games are great, but Toys looks like it should be a 2. Very
Bomberman 2's
close,
pretty
Brad.
Bomberman 2 is pretty great.
Super Black Bass got a 9, and Super Caesar's Palace got an 8. You guys did Super Caesar's
We
Palace.
sure did.
Okay.
What was the speed run on that? It was like 2 minutes.
Right?
Yeah, I remember it was being like some weird hit roulette and then bust it all out and then break up everybody.
Here is the review of Toys from Game Player magazine. When Kenneth Zevo, president and owner of Zevo Toys, dies, he leaves his entire toy empire to his evil brother, General Leland Zevo. The general immediately begins churning out weapons designed as innocent toys. Blah, blah, blah. This is about the movie. As Leslie, you're given access to the arsenal of good toys to use against the general's evil ones. But are your wind-up elephants and spinning tops enough to defeat the tanks and bombs that guard the factory's security cameras? Not enough. Not enough for me to want to read all this. But despite its interesting concept, Toys is hampered by graphics. Once the good looking intro is over, that look is vaguely digitized, and background is just. I can't read this because the graphic design on this is awful. It's black text on really loud background.
That's a game. That's a 1990s gaming magazine.
It is. And I do not have the same eyeballs I had in 1993 or whatever. So generally speaking, they gave it a 6. In the context that Brad gave us, that's a higher score than it probably deserved even then. So
I came up with another achievement.
Yes.
Leslie Nope. In order to
Yay.
unlock Leslie Nope, you just turn the game off. You just turn it on, and you get to the point where you get killed by a knockoff bomb.
Yeah.
And turn it off.
So I think that covers that. I think we touched enough on toys to
Touched it.
we touched it all over, and I think we can put it to bed.
Good night, sweet prince.
Good night.
Tyler,
Yes, Dave.
thank you for touching your face to remind me of an important, integral part of this show. If you were to give this game a beard, what beard? Why?
I would give it the beard that you get post oral sex where you get squirted in the face and you're like, oh shit, was that squirt? What's that piss?
Fuck, I'm glad I don't have a camera in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. So is the questionable liquid beard.
Okay.
I know that beard.
They pulled that toy from market, I think. Tyler.
Squirt beard or pee?
Okay, that's how we rate games going forward. If you were to give this game a pair of glasses, what glasses? Why?
I give it, in the worst possible version, Rowdy Roddy Piper's sunglasses, where he pulls in and They Live, where he looks back up and he can see it for the horrible thing it actually is.
Okay.
So glasses that see things for how they actually are.
Those need to exist in a Call of Cthulhu game.
Yes.
Just throwing that out there.
Yes.
Agreed.
Maybe not yours, but I'm not like being that guy. Like, put this in the game for my character, but like
My
someone
character invented these.
right
In his
yeah,
backstory.
right. somewhere in some Call of Cthulhu game, those glasses need to be introduced.
And as DM, you say, and as part of the backstory, you are not allowed to own them. You can't touch them now.
Oh, you
Or
do. You
they
just
do
go
the appropriate
insane.
sanity damage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I call them NPC glasses because that's what you turn into when you put them on.
All I see is NP. Or is it Squirt?
Exactly.
Squirt.
Exactly. So next week, you said earlier, you mentioned a game that I was like, ooh, I'm going to write that down and suggest to them. to
Okay.
do.
Casper.
Casper.
I have suggestions as well.
Okay.
Although I did love the Casper movie a great deal.
I haven't
so
seen it.
I would love to rewatch.
man.
It's a great. I loved it. It's a
That'd be a
it's
good
a
one for
product
Henry,
of its
too.
time.
I don't know.
A little
Phil.
romancy. Well, the uncle ghosts are.
He doesn't really do movies. He
yeah.
nopes out of them a lot. I was surprised that
This movie, Casper's safe.
no, I'm not worried about like the content.
Oh.
I'm just
Oh,
concerned-
attention
it's an
span.
attention
There's
span.
the
I
part where
gotcha.
Bill Paxton goes, big cock.
There's because like in toys, what got his attention, he kind of walked through the living room when the kids are playing the war games,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "Oh, this is awesome," and I'm like, "Yeah, it is awesome," but the movie says it's not. I don't know why.
Like when he's playing the video game in the arcade and
Dude,
he's
and those
blowing
games
up
look
the UN
Fucking
van.
awesome. From, like,
One of 'em was
1992.
Afterburner.
Oh no! I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the General's arcade, where he's
Oh,
got
yeah.
the kids playing like these fucking
Yeah.
like realistic looking war
Uh-huh.
games. Man, in 1992, can you imagine?
God, I would have been at the arcade a lot more, and I was
No
20.
shit. But I thought about you when they showed Afterburner
Yeah.
in the movie.
I have suggestions as well.
Go on.
Although I'm not
Goon.
opposed to doing Casper, we could just put all these on the docket if you're interested. Toy Story,
Toy Story.
because
There's another
toys,
good one.
Because toys.
and Lethal Weapon
Yes.
because of Lethal Weapons in toys. So
Yes.
I mean, thinking about those two as movie games, we could do, and then also you said this earlier. I like the idea of Star Trek Generations Beyond the Nexus. Star Trek Generations is a great movie. If you're interested in that, I would be.
What's the one we did?
We did Deep Space Nine.
Deep Space Nine, yeah.
Okay.
However, I will say I can never for sure guarantee if John Turley can be on.
I want to do it with
He's
him.
going to
When we
want to
know he
be
can.
on when we absolutely know he can. And I also would very much like for you two to watch Star Trek Generations.
I'll watch
it's,
it.
It's
It's
a
a
good
movie,
movie.
right?
It's
Yeah.
a movie,
I'll watch
and
it.
it is after the show ends.
Do
but
I
you
need-
don't have to have a whole lot of show knowledge
'Cause I
to
won't.
get it.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't really have
And I
to
will
have
have even
any.
less.
You won't have to have any. It's good. You know the basic characters of the show, and that's all that really matters. But so
Yeah.
I'd like to do that at some point.
Let's
I
do
didn't
it.
know it was a thing until you mentioned that this company developed it. Be a good movie tie-in game as well. So
Okay.
at this point, let's leave it at Casper, Toy Story, or Lethal Weapon. What do
Okay.
y'all think?
I mean, I'm liking Casper.
I'm
Honestly,
liking Casper.
I'm liking Casper because I've seen some gameplay of Casper on the PlayStation.
Uh-huh.
So I'm kind of curious
Okay.
what it looks like on the Super Nintendo.
I'm down. I like the movie, and I'm interested to see what the game has to offer. I've always been kind of a Casper fan, so
And I'm down to watch the movie. I'm sure Nikki
movie
would
is
too.
Great.
it's a good movie.
Movie's
It really is.
great.
It's more appropriate than Toys in the sense of it seems like Toys was marketed at a younger audience than it actually really produced for. Casper is not that.
Cool.
And Christina Ricci's in it.
Yeah.
She's really good in it. So yeah,
Devin
definitely.
Sawa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just haven't seen it.
Bill Pullman
Really, I didn't know
plays
that.
her
Oh,
dad.
Okay.
Yeah, good shit. I enjoy it. Let's do Casper.
All right.
Casper
Sounds good.
Perfect.
from the movie Kids, right? So we're gonna watch Kids.
Nope, don't do that.
Agreed. Don't do that.
Don't watch Kids, please.
Watch it once in the 90s. And that's it.
Yep.
So thanks for listening, everybody. You find the show on iTunes, not SoundCloud, Spotify, not Stitcher, all that business. We got lots of things going on, but most importantly, there's that Patreon.
Patreon.com/tadpog or pisstasters.com.
Taste the piss.
will get you what you need, which is to give us money. We love all of our donors. That money is very helpful to us. It goes a long way towards helping us pay our bills. It helps us buy things we need for the show. It's really, really generous of y'all to give that money, and we're very grateful. We have a list of executive producers. They donate $20 or more per month to the show, and I'd like to read the list of those generous people now, starting with Plinko Nick Price, Usurper Grimm, Cubicle Monkey, Cthusiast Jeff Miners, Gamebug Prime Nathan Eaton, Matt Gentile, a.k.a. Gentle G, Louisville Correspondent, Princess Consuela, Banana Hammock, Flavor Trek, Taryn Dahl, congratulations on your marriage, Pinball Airplane Archmage, Chris Edler, we're sorry you couldn't be on this episode, Sandwich Pope Phil Hawkins, Drink Smith, Joey Webster, and Derek Pope Sandwich. Thank you all so much
Hell
for
yeah.
your generosity.
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
Big hell yeah. And thanks to Dane, who, despite his hardware problems, managed to get Top Gun up and running
Yep, thank
on
you.
our YouTube channel.
Sorry
and he,
about the hardware problems.
yeah, sorry you had to go through that.
sucks.
Appreciate that you still continue to upload our show to YouTube
Mm-hmm.
every week. Just because you're nice. And once again, thanks to Brad from Arizona for sending us fun facts about toys this week's game.
And I would like to thank somebody as well. I forgot I had this. It wasn't shipped to us in this plastic 5-star bag that
Okay.
I'm wrinkling, and you like that
Ooh, let's get
ASMR?
some good ASMR.
They
Good-
don't.
Yeah, they don't. They don't like it.
They don't like it.
They.
Oh, I see what it is.
We got from Tadpog Santa, cranberry orange relish.
So fucking good.
Okay.
You want to try it next week?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Guess I'll need to get some spoons.
It's
and stuff,
vacuum
and we'll
packed,
try
so it should be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly was just gonna give it to you. I think it's for you, but
Oh, maybe because I do love it, but I'd like all of us to eat it because it's so good.
I don't like cranberry though. Is the thing.
Oh, okay.
But I'll try it. I mean,
do.
I just
I'll
feel
try
like I
this
can't
with
fully
ya.
appreciate it.
Yeah, hold on to that. Bring some little cookies or crackers or something
Yeah.
next week, and we'll try it.
but I believe that came from Kana. Is my guess.
Yeah, very much.
So,
Kana, thank you.
Kana.
That's awesome. I can't wait
Jack
to
of
try
Ziggy
it.
Moons.
And the reason that it took so long is because it takes me a while to get stuff from the P.O. box. And then it also takes me a while to open things because sometimes it's tough to open a box for whatever reason.
Yep.
It's tough for me to mail a box. I get it.
It could be sitting in the room for a while. And
The box room.
in the box room, it's where I put all the boxes that one day I'll open, but just can't bring myself to open right now.
There might be an obligation
they
in
go.
there. I don't want
Yeah. I'm that way with envelopes, but never boxes. I always open boxes.
So our theme song is Let's Take a Drive, link to that track from the show notes at TADPOG.com. How you guys want to close it out?
Robin Williams?
Oh, sure.
What's your favorite Robin Williams character?
Sure.
So until next time.
Tropical Capricorn.
Who are you?
Hello.
Ah, yes, of course. Cuban B.
Hello, Cuban B.
It was that stalker guy from the photography.
24-hour photo.
Yeah.
was that the name of the movie?
Yeah.
Creepy fucking movie.
That is a creepy movie.
Dark. It's like when Jim Carrey did The Cable Guy. You know, Robin Williams being the weird, evil guy in that.
I'm a member of your family.
It put me off. It was like, what the fuck am I watching? This isn't Robin Williams. TADPOG is hosted and produced by Tyler Holland, Dave Moore, and Ian Chandler, and is available wherever fine podcasts are hosted. Have a question or comment for the hosts? Call us at 270-883-2555 and leave us a voicemail. We'll even play it on the show and respond eventually. Want to send us something? You can do that at TADPOG Studios, care of Nicole Nance, P.O. Box 3785, Paducah, Kentucky 42002. Sick of us doing all the talking? You can join in on the conversation by visiting our Discord at bit.ly/TADPOG Discord or tastethepiss.com. Not many things are truly free these days, but our Discord is, and we'd love to see you there. Our theme song is Moves by Sycamore Drive, and a link to that track can be found at the show notes at tadpog.com. Thanks for listening, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcasting platform. We'd really appreciate it.
Titty milk.
Don't say anything you don't want recorded.
The
first one was
milk's good.
The first one was better though. That was it had I don't know why. It just had a better
It was a surprise.
mouthfeel.
Surprise titty milk as always.
It's probably the first time I've ever used the phrase mouthfeel.
It's good to use it in the same sentence as titty milk.
Yeah.